Look at that. Rates are going up.
Huh?
I said, this is the second time I've seen a 1 year CD right around 2%.
I heard that interest rates would be around 5 by June. Mortgage, I mean, to buy a house.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that goes up. I guess this goes up. You know.
The interest rate is that, right? All right, y'all, take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Let your family and friends know we are back. What you doing over there?
YouTube, right?
Huh?
YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I gotta go find that and share it.
You want to share the
I'm gonna
YouTube?
go share it. I'm gonna go share the YouTube.
Let's tweet that. Boom. Let's go to what up, little cuz? A Tizzle 2. How y'all feeling this morning? What's up, what's up, what's up? All right, y'all. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share. Quasi, let's talk today. I'm down with the gun range joint, my brother.
This traffic report is brought to you by Unbound.org. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at Unbound.org.
WVON, traffic and weather, now.
Things are off to a heavy start on the Ryan this morning. You're already looking at 30 minutes from 95th Street to downtown, outbound free flowing, getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford. Problems with delays. These looking good along Lakeshore Drive. Then inbound trip along the Stevenson from I-355 to the drive, already 40 minutes with some minor stopping on traffic from Harlem to Kennedy, outbound free flowing. The Eisenhower, a 40-minute trip as well, in from Thorndale to the Jameburn interchange, slow from Wolf to Harlem, outbound of Commerce, no delays. And things are looking good along the Kennedy. Moving along at base travel times inbound from Old Fair to downtown and back again. Your bus stop temperature in the 20s again this morning. The National Weather Service says we're in for some rain, possibly, and this temperature dip possible.
How y'all doing? Take a moment. Share the broadcast.
Tonight dropping down to 31.
We are on YouTube Live as well.
25 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago.
Decided to go back and check them out.
I'm Anna Cordon on the Talk of
Let's go to the live control room. Let's see what we can make happen. Oh, dang, YouTube. Oh, they done upgraded the services, huh? Thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Oh, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. What's up, y'all? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? Let's get it in. If we just let it be, na 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 na, the world won't get no better. We gotta change it, just you and me. Wake up, all does make the old people well. They're the ones who look, y'all. We getting ready to start offering up the morning show theme song to the peoples, for they pass away. I know we could do it if we all lend a hand. Let's put it in our mind. Well, won't get no better. Na 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 na. The world won't. Sorry, y'all, I was playing around. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. Charles, how you feeling?
Feeling great, man. It's opening day. Opening day in Chicago.
Opening day in Chicago. White, you know what? It's really only one opening day that counts.
No, it's the only. That's right.
You know what? Hey, John.
Yeah.
Shout out to John Rimbert, man. You know, the #1 White Sox fan that be rocking with us.
I know he is so excited right now.
Is he? You know, he's probably
out there now.
Is he out? John Rimbert. Shout out to John Rimbert out at the White Sox getting ready. He got his White Sox hat on, talking about go White Sox go. Right?
Yeah, go White Sox, go. Singing that song.
Yep, it is the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, opening day here in the city of Chicago. Comiskey, what is it? Comiskey USA? Oh, it's guaranteed, God's guaranteed rate field.
Guaranteed cellular field.
Guaranteed, you know, what we got?
Guaranteed cellular field at Comiskey Park.
There. You know what? They should make that. That's almost like the good Reverend Doctor, right? We're going to call it the, you know what? Write that down. We're going to put that in the lexicon. Charles, it's the WVON Morning Show. You know what? I got some newfound respect for the White Sox. You know that, right? Some extra newfound respect. Because they brought my man back, Nevis. They brought Nevis back. He was locked up for 20-something years. He said that, Charles, can you think about this, though? If you was locked up for 20-something years. Wrongfully. Is the first thing you talking about getting your job back?
Man, if you could be a groundskeeper at Comiskey Cellular Guarantee Field, I mean, come on. That's a great job.
But it is a great job.
Get to see games.
You know what, though? Let me tell you. If I was gone for that long, that ain't the first thing I'd be talking about. You get to see the games. That ain't what I want to see. But shout out to, you know what? Shout out to the White Sox for that gesture. Man, 25 years away, he got his job back. Just like Dorothy Brown got her phone back, my man Nevis got his job back. Hey, it's the WVON Morning Show. Charles, I was feeling a little bit, you know what? Let me back up. Before we get too far down the a little late last night.
Just a little late. You can talk about a runway, Maze, and Charles Armani from head to toe. You were in a tuxedo, looking like.
We sit. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I ain't going. You know what? Halle Berry. Oh wait, and you know we cannot fly the soul plane without the musical conductor. That is Miss Sonia Escobar. Sonia Escobeezy, how you feeling this morning?
Welcome to the best morning radio show in Chicago.
Hey, can I Can I just say it one more time? Because you know what? I think we're going to have to start changing our title, man. Charles, can we, I know it ain't like the Arbitron thing or whatever, but I'm kind of feeling some kind of swagalicious.
You really should, Maze Jackson. You absolutely should.
Why do you say that, man?
I just think that this has grown into something even bigger than you and I. And I think, really, my man, we got to talk about that.
My brother, I'm going to tell you, I believe that I want the WVON listening audience. Let me tell y'all what I want y'all to do for y'allself. You up, you awake, you watching, you tweeting, you whatever you doing, and you are part of the WVON family, I want you to stop, take a moment, and give yourself a soul clap like this. Because let me tell you what, Charles, it ain't us. It's the WVON listening audience that is responding to waking up this city of Chicago. And I'm going to tell you, my brother, I was looking at the press release yesterday. I was reading, you know how you say you got to read between the lines. Do you know that not only did we win, but I'm going to tell you that I believe this morning show drove that whole list, brother. Because when you go down to Harold's Chicken,
Really?
Bronzeville,
Yeah.
Chicago State, like, bro, I'm telling you, look, and let me tell you what. I had this little sneak campaign to see how, if we knew the WVON listeners was responding. So I was running this little sneak thing. Guess what the number one park was? The number one recreation was?
What?
Jackson Park. Now, when the last time you heard somebody talk they was going to Jackson Park?
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm just...
I feel you, and I think that we definitely motivated. We have, thanks to you, this engaged audience, and I think that this engaged audience is showing itself.
Thanks to us. There's no you. There is us. There's we. It is our team. Let me tell you.
Speaking of team, by the way, I just want to point out, it was just texted to me.
Man.
The White Sox brought us together. That was when I met you.
The White Sox. You know what? Shout out to my main man, Double J. Right? Y'all hear about we're going to have to get the infamous Double J in the studio one day. Like, come on, let me tell you. They were like, always engaged. I remember Charles, I know it was a little conspiracy, right? We had a plot. He said to me one day, that Charles Thomas, you two need to be together. He said, I need you. He said, I got it. We're going to go to a White Sox game. I'm going to invite him to a White Sox game. I'm like, bro, you'll never get, what? Do you know Charles Thomas? Like, no, I don't know him. But I'm going to get him to the White Sox game because the two of you need to know each other. And Charles, remember we was at that game, we had some beer, some burr. Was it the burr thing where we was...
Couple of beers.
Couple of burrs, you know what I'm saying? And we got treated like White Sox royalty, like we was almost like White Sox. You know what I mean?
White Sox fans.
Right. We got Double J got us the special White Sox treatment, right?
White Sox fans.
Right.
Right. We got treated like White
Sox fans. You see how we did that right there? You know, that's almost like Jay-Z said, I'm a businessman. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to my main man, Double J. You know what? We got a reunion coming up at the White Sox Park coming up
this
soon.
Summer we're going to go watch the Sox and the Cardinals.
And the Cards.
I'm going to say John Joyner, because there's another Double J. I don't want to confuse.
I see, but if you do that, man, we got to keep our, we got to keep our sources.
He's our guy. He's all right.
He is our guy.
And he's a faithful listener to the WVON.
And watcher. He watches too.
Right. He's watching now.
Hey, speaking of watching, you can watch us on Facebook Live and you can watch us, guess what, y'all, the YouTube feed is back up too. So, it's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. We just blew through this whole break. So, we're going to get through our news, plus the social media question of the day. And man, Charles, I heard you got to talk to Eddie yesterday. I got the, what the heck? You know what? We'll talk about it all when we come back. It's the Talk Chicago 1690 AM.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
All right, y'all.
Chicago.
How is y'all doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the YouTube family. You know what I'm saying? I hope you all enjoy it. The YouTube is for the sneak watchers, so you don't have to show and expose yourself. And the Facebook, the den is right here, over here. Now, y'all, now, let me just be clear one more time. I'm working 2 cameras, 2. So it's a lot going on. Help a brother out here. What y'all got going? Take a moment. Can you take a moment and share the broadcast? Take a moment, share the broadcast. All right. Who is rocking with me right now? Hey, John Rember. Aren't you proud that everybody knows you are the #1 Sox? That was broadcast, brother. That wasn't Facebook. That was the world. They're going to be looking for you at White Sox Park. We should have them put up a John Rember sign on the expressway. All right. Let's shout out to, what up, Renee Scott? What up, James Williams? What about, what up, Tiger Lily? Hey, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. Hey, y'all, tonight, in the den, we will be talking to NTA, National Teachers Academy. You know we're going to have our babies in the building. What's up, YouTube? How y'all feeling? YouTube, let me tell y'all. YouTube sent me an email I ain't like. They made me mad. But I need y'all, if y'all want to get the YouTube cracking, I need y'all to help me grow it, share it, spread it, explain it, let people know that we are back there in the building as well. All right? Now, remember, I'm working 2 cameras now, plus the computer, plus I got a lot cracking. So just bear with it, brother, because it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah, I had to wear that one time when they won the Super. Hey, Sheila, I'm happy to get the YouTube back up. What up, A.E. Norton? What up, SJ? What up, Anthony Robinson? What up, A. Tizzle? What up, XKS 2012? If you out there rocking with me on YouTube, y'all gotta let me know y'all want that to stay. You're gonna have to share it. You're gonna have to get the views and the word out, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The about Ryan, a 30-minute trip from 95th Street to downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop 4, give yourself just about 20 minutes. 5:57.
All right, who's with me on Facebook? What up, John Rember? What up, Dexter Childs? What up, Aunt Tennille?
55 to the drive, still heavy from Harlem to Kensington.
Tennille, I think I'm gonna talk about the YouTube situation with the lady tonight. What up, Renee Scott? I'm not really up to date on it, so can you send me some notes? I'm gonna just tell y'all, I had a very late night last night. Very late. Y'all see y'all boy one more time? One more again? Had to put y'all didn't realize, I know y'all probably didn't think I had a wardrobe because I wore t-shirts every single day. But you know I used to be a lobbyist, right? So I had to wear suits and ties every day. But I feel like if they gonna give me my late night TV show, I gotta look like a late night TV show host sometimes. You dig? I'm telling you. Y'all, I'm thinking I might do a late night show. Instead of hey, don't forget, in the den tonight, NTA plus 8 weeks, the next 8 weeks, me, Salim, 1 hour every night. Woo! Ain't nothing. Woo! Yeah. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, can I tell you, man, I was a little sleepy today.
I was a little sleepy too. In fact, I'm drinking some of this crazy juice, man.
I saw you. Wait, you drinking Kickstart, dog?
I have to, man.
Kickstart,
We were
though?
late last night.
Charles, but Kickstart, though. Charles, I was looking at that like, man, you gonna get your sugar up, man. You drinking.
My sugar up, my caffeine up, my everything up, man.
So, man, Charles, last night, Black Heritage Film Festival, WVON, Harold Washington Cultural Center. Shout out to Melody Span Cooper. That 50-year gala, that was kind of a big freaking deal.
Yeah, man, had really nice turnout too.
Yeah,
Well, I mean the
gala
event last night.
Yes.
Did, but the gala itself, that was what did Joe Biden call it, a BFD?
That was a BFD. I'm still just a little perturbed. Just a little. Then I ain't getting no tickets. Cause I was around that time.
I was right across the street.
Man, I'm saying I was in the building at that time. Like I was like working in the building. And the brother didn't even get no. You know what I remember seeing all the pictures on social media. Like, and you know, people would be like, where you at, Mace? I was like, dang. So you know what, Charles? Last night I wore a tux so I could pretend like I was in it, right? And then, you know, I was just going to tell you, it was kind of coincidental that, you know, I was like, how can I rock this tux but not be too much? And I ain't wear a tie. And then, so I had my little tux on without a tie with my little things on. And then I looked.
You were clean. You were clean.
You were clean, brother.
You were clean, man. You know what they say? You clean as a mosquito.
No, never heard that.
Do that?
No, I don't even know what that one is. Give it to me.
You ever heard that?
Clean as a mosquito. What?
Sharp.
Sharp
As a mosquito's. I'm not gonna say that, man, because I'm not gonna.
Sharp as a mosquito.
Y'all, they know what I'm talking.
You know what?
Old school crap.
Oh, that's old school.
That's old school.
Sharp. What is it? Sharp as a needle.
You can be sharp as a tack. You can be sharp as a
mosquito's
needle.
needle.
Sharp as a mosquito.
A mosquito needle.
Whatever. You can do. That's all right. Leave it there.
Okay. Hey, but man, Charles, So you know what, man? Sometimes I don't be thinking that people realize what it's like when that alarm clock goes off at 3:45.
Boss lady doesn't, because she made it mandatory.
She's like, hey yo, I don't give a flying flute. What time you got to be at you better have your. So look, Charles, I saw you in the front row. I was in the second row, right? But man, Charles, it was like, you know, when it got to be about 10 o'clock, I was like,
it got to be 10 o'clock. You know I left, right?
I saw you hit the.
I had to, man. I can't function like that.
Man.
I can't go like you. You have energy, boundless energy.
Until I don't get my nap. And I didn't get my nap. But let me tell you, I was going to try and sneak out. But when I looked out and I was getting out the door and I saw them people that was just sitting there still waiting and went through the movie and they was like, we having our question and answer session. Can I tell you what, man? And they showed you mad love. But can I tell you what? The love out there for the team, it was just incredible. And what I believe yesterday that the screening showed me, it just reiterated, was the legacy of WVON.
Oh man, you know the best part of the whole program was the historic part to me. I love history.
Me too.
But when they showed the pictures of the good guys and everybody talked about the past and what the station meant, I said, wow, this validated for me getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day to come here. It validated. I mean, I feel like I have to live up to that legacy.
Man, I'm going to tell you, as I was sitting there, because, you know, you sometimes you tempted when you're in your blessing to forget that you in your blessing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you tempted to forget that this is what you prayed for. This is what you asked for, in my case. And so watching it, And as I continue to watch it, and then you see like Herb Kent, the cool jet, right? And I used to work with Herb and look at him, and I didn't really realize the magnitude until later. And it's like, hey, Charles, we are behind the same call letters. When they were talking about the riots and King dying, it was so poignant when they were talking about the riots and how the city was burning and WVON was the calming force, particularly after the King's assassination. And Charles, it got me to thinking about everything and all the news that occurred and watching the Memphis and watching everything. But can I tell you, I think I learned more about Dr. King in the last couple of days.
Oh my goodness.
I believe that I learned more about Dr. King in the last 2 days since we've had these conversations that has really changed. Go ahead.
America learned more about Dr. King in these last 2 days, this last week, than America was given this misinformation, has been given this misinformation about Dr. King over the past 50 years. The mainstream media has taken Dr. King and selectively chosen from his legacy. Dorothy Tillman sat here yesterday and told us the truth. That last speech, we don't hear enough of that.
Man.
That speech was to black people. The Dream speech 4 years earlier, 5 years earlier, that was to America. They've co-opted him using that speech. That last speech, that was the one when he was talking about true social justice for black people.
Charles.
He wasn't talking about gay people.
Oh.
He wasn't talking about undocumented immigrants. He was talking to black people about black people in that last speech. And we got to hear it, and we got to hear voices like Dorothy Tillman put it in proper perspective. Did you hear Father Flager yesterday?
I did not. And shout out to Father Flager, who was also in Memphis. I know people give him a lot of bad road, but you know, he was out there representing. So Charles, I think you're clairvoyant, brother, because it got me to the social media question of the day, which we got to get out. Charles, is it time for us to take back the legacy of Dr. King? Was that really our dream? Really? Let's talk about it when we come back. It's the Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. Dang, my pad won't come up so I can get my question right. Hey, y'all, take a moment to share the broadcast. Somebody asked last night, too, did we ever come up with an answer for Dr. King's legacy in Chicago?
Across the nation paused to reflect on the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In Memphis yesterday, St. Sabina's Father Michael Flager echoed a call to activism.
Okay, y'all. So, social media question of the day. So, social media question of the day. Keep the dream alive. Is it time for black people to take control of the King narrative? Was that really our dream, and is it still our dream? Little boys and girls, I don't know if I care if my kids grow up with black boys and black girls. I think I want my check. Can we move the conversation from the dream? Because we ain't through dream. I'm tired of dreaming. Can we wake up? Wake up. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Take a moment and share the broadcast. What's up to all the people on YouTube? YouTube, you out there? You out there? What up, Sheila Aiken? What up, Alvin Norton? Y'all out there? Now look. All right. Let me go see who's out here. What's up, Big Brother Kang, Mufasa Red? What up, Kenya Lover, Harmony Price, Alvin Norton, Henry Hartsfield, Barry Marshall, Janice Williams, Garth. All right, look. Facebook, you get to come with me. YouTube, what? YouTube, you could come too. Come on. We gonna do both of y'all real quick. All right. All right, so are we getting me 2 clips? Do we have the I Have a Dream? Like the where boys and girls and little boys and girls? And then I want my check. So we want to try and get both of those clips. So like, come if you got I Have a Dream, let's do that one. And then like I'm gonna go from I Have a Dream to Is That the Legacy, and then something one of those powerful ones. But like the check one would be great.
You remember which one is I had to check from?
No, you could probably put King, Bounce Check or something like that. See, oh, let me give y'all some perspective. This is what's going on behind the scenes. They're working in the studio. See, Todd is over here looking at cat videos. Sonya is over here putting it all together. Sonya on YouTube and Facebook Live. Say what up to the people.
Morning! You got YouTube back. I'm so excited. We back.
That's our high-tech production facilities. There's Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Hey y'all, if you're on YouTube, I need y'all to like the videos, like and share.
Yeah, because if you don't, Maze might, be like that other crazy girl, come to work.
Oh no!
Presented by Toyota, celebrates 24 years and my. It's going to be amazing. See the sultry Johnny Gill perform live on the main stage. Candid conversations with Kimberly Elise and Tammy Roman on Sunday.
Tammy Roman? How come we ain't getting no panel?
With Remy Ma.
Why y'all didn't give us no panel at the expo for today's black women? Y'all don't think we got nothing to talk about? The black women don't want to hear what we got to say at the expo for today's black woman? Out of 6 brown chicks doing their thing. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? In the building. We on a ward tour? Phew, we're back. Blue vodka? All right, keep the dream alive. Is it time for black people to take control of the King narrative? Is it really our dream still? What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? What do you get over here? YouTube.
Illinois high school students, whether you're gearing up for a big game, learning to play an instrument, or
Y'all, I'm checking out the different screens.
it all comes down to practice.
Ha!
And now,
That's like 8mm, like back in the day. Like where it's got the little dots. Okay, y'all, don't be neglected Facebook. I'm just checking out the new cool things they have on YouTube.
that's built to turn your weaknesses into strength. So go to SAT
Bubbles, bro.
IL and start practicing today.
YouTube. I'm on YouTube. They got a lot of filters over here, guys. So it's like a spotlight. I'm at the club.
Experience 3 compelling dramas that are
A dream.
our social conscience. The series begins with National Anthem, written by urban
Okay, YouTube, you just gotta give me a minute. I'm just enjoying the.
surrounding professional athletes and their right to peaceful protest. Then check out Fleet, written by Reginald Williams. This emotional drama depicts the trauma left behind from
Okay.
murders, hopelessness, and urban stress. The artistry continues with In the Shadow of Justice. El Maceo Ferris's intoxicating play, depicting how 2 young police detectives are forced to face corruption, brutality, and murder in a Southside police precinct where they have been assigned. Will they accept business as usual or care enough to try and change a racist system? Jackie Taylor's drama series will take you on a whirlwind ride with 3 compelling works of art. Foreign State at the DuSable Museum of African American History, 740 East 50.
Okay, guys.
April 7th through the 22nd. Visit blackensembletheater.org for a complete list of dates and showtimes.
All right. Take a moment, share the broadcast. What's up on YouTube and Facebook? What up, Renee Scott? What up, Patrice Roberson? Here, I'm gonna do it this way.
Today you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit
Think I can get.
stand-up-to-cancer.org/lung cancer to learn more.
Now today we're doing an experiment to see if if YouTube will cannibalize the Facebook audience, or will those audiences be about right? It seems like it's cannibalizing because right now I would be at 100 and something. We're on 90 on YouTube and we're about 21 on 90 on Facebook and 20 on YouTube. Let's see who's gonna win today. Let's see, can we get some competition going? Share the broadcast. Tweet, take a moment, tweet it out. Facebook it out. Share it. Share the broadcast. All right, y'all.
It's 25 in South Shore, 25 at O'Hare, and 25 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic weather.
Yes, Grand Wiz Theo, I do think he would be more effective there, but he's not welcome in those neighborhoods, actually. They consider him a sellout. What up, Sheila? Huh? Yeah. Oh, the clip. But the content of their character. Have a dream. The Kings have blocked the speech, y'all. That's why I'm putting it on. Morning, Rismo. I think I read somewhere. Somewhere I read. I like that better. Somewhere I read. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I'll kill you. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, I'm going to tell you, that was the I Have a Dream speech. That was the excerpt from the I Have a Dream speech. And, you know, that is the speech that, you know, when you the little black kid in class and all the white people look and the teacher say, do the I Have a Dream speech. Mm-hmm. And the black kid will, I have a dream that I could be like the little white boys and girls too. And that to me is the story, the narrative of Dr. King that has been projected in our community. And I think it was reflected in my conversation the other day. Then we had this conversation with Dorothy Tillman. I watched King in the Wilderness Years. Then it makes me go grab some books and read some of the speeches that he wrote. And I'm saying, this ain't the King that I done learned about.
But think about it too, that 1963 when he gave that speech, I think it was August, and I don't know the exact date, but August of 1963 until April of 1968. That was a long time. Think of all the things that happened during that period. How John F. Kennedy was assassinated, how Malcolm X was assassinated, how the Vietnam War ramped up. All these things happened in America. So Dr. King was a different kind of activist by the time he was murdered than he was in 1963. And this mainstream media does not allow for that missing wilderness period, if you will, that he became what he should be today.
Right,
and
like
he's not. He's trapped in 63 because mainstream media trapped him there.
And it seems to me like, you know, I am just really rethinking my Dr. King picture, right? Like, you know, I keep talking about resegregation sometimes and black folks getting, and you know, then I think about that mountaintop speech, and I think about, you know, I have a dream. I think I like somewhere I read. I think I like that better. Somewhere I read, right? I like that better than I have a dream. But you know, Charles, there's another perspective that I think has not been pushed to the black community that I think our kids need to hear. Sonia, hit it for me. What's up, Everett? Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? Could you rewind just that part, Sonia? Because he said what we talk about all the time. I call it the bag, but he said we want our check.
And it's called reparations.
And it's called reparations. Charles Thomas, I am here to tell you today that it is time for black folks to retake the King narrative. So the social media question of the day. See, I'm trying to answer it instead of ask it. Charles, keep the dream alive. Is it time for black people to take control of the King narrative? Because is that really our dream? That one day little boys and girls can be just like the white people's? Or do we want our check? Because I think I want a check.
I think everybody, that's what we need. You know, we need a check because the check is due us. I mean, and this conversation is, you know, one thing we want to stress, and I think we did it a few weeks ago, this conversation about reparations has been underway for hundreds of years. It's not something new. It's not something forgotten. It's not something forgotten. There are people that have...
Shout out to Cam.
Cam has been talking about it.
In
Conrad, Dr. Warreal has been talking about it. Dorothy Tillman has been talking about it.
Oh, John Conyers was talking about it.
There is, I mean, this isn't some new. This Minister Farrakhan has been talking about it. This isn't the new. This has got to be where the conversation has to be.
But and so y'all, do we look, man? I'm tired of it. Look, black folks, how about can we stop playing? I don't got nothing against the I Have a Dream speech. But I'm just saying, can we pick a new speech? This man he delivered fire. Fire. Lightning bolts. And we steady talking about, I have a dream that maybe one day, somewhere I read a different speech from Dr. King. Quite a few different speeches. Somewhere I read he said he was tired of marching for the things that he should have been had, right? That are supposed to be guaranteed us in the Constitution. Y'all, is it time for us to change the Dr. King narrative? Because I don't think that they would have gave him a national holiday as a freedom fighter, right? They gave him a national holiday as a peacemaker. But y'all, you know what? It's a war on the streets. Now maybe it's economic, but you know, he knew it. He said, where's my check? Yeah, we talk about economics all the time. Let's talk about this when we come back. It's the Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. We'll be back after traffic and weather. Our check! Yeah, we got to stop. I'm just saying. Come on, man. Could you imagine Black History? Could you imagine all the Black History Month programs around the country when all the white folks are all gathered and we instead think about this. You know, on Dr. King's holiday, let me tell you what. The white folks pay good money to shine the young black kids up there, right? Let me tell you. So you get chosen to be the one to do the I Have a Dream speech. And so, man, them little black kids practice that speech. They got it perfect. They shine them up, put their bow tie. The little black kid go up there, and I have a dream. And we, man, I'm telling you, we be all in the audience, woo-hoo-hoo! And then all the white people who don't come around the black neighborhood all year long, let me tell you what they do. They come and they pay for the big tables, and they sit down and they clap and they wave and they say, hey, yes. Then they go back to their neighborhoods. But could y'all imagine? Could you imagine if we changed up the game? And when all of them white folks sitting in the room, the little black boy walks out, does his speech and says, and at the end, and I want my check. Can you imagine? I bet you this though. I bet you wouldn't be too many more sponsored MLK Day breakfasts if we start asking for a check. Yo, we got to change the narrative for real. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Dr. King said he want his check. Like, I want my check. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. What's up to Facebook? What's up to YouTube? What up, KM? Oh, KM. What up, Michelle Flagg? Look at the YouTube reunion. What up, Ronald Lewis? What up, Patricia Jenkins? What up, Alicia Graddick? What up, Sheila A.E. Norton, S.J. A. Tizzle? What up, D.S. Sanders? You want your check? Shine the sunshine. D.S., she hit me back. She said they can't. We'll talk about it. What up, Dexter Childs? And Arizona didn't want to have it as a holiday. What up, Vern? What up, Shine the Sunshine? What up, Daryl Murray? What up, Tanya Robinson? Let me do it. Let me see if I can do it this way, y'all. It's too much going on. I'm trying to keep it. What up, Melvin? I see y'all over on YouTube trying to get y'all weight up. YouTube, I don't know if YouTube catch up with Facebook again. What's up, brother Edward Muhammad? I see y'all tonight. Don't forget tonight in the Den, National Teachers Academy will be in the building. National Teachers Academy. Shout out to Big Brother Kang, Mufasa Red, Commissioner Carrot Steele. What's up, baby? What up, Denise Russell? What up, Roy Royal Jackson? What up, Quentin Lewis, Lionel Nixon, Reese Moe? Reese Moe, can I tell you, your posts and your emojis that go with them make me laugh when I go back and read the comments. And I think that you all good. I don't think you go, you be cracking me up on the, you know we got the bird in the sky, Aunt Neil watching everybody. What's up, Aunt Neil? What up, Daryl Murray's? What up, Tanya Robinson? What up, Oris Williams? Oris, you're from New York, right? Appreciate you. Look, man, I'm gonna tell y'all what. I'm about to hit this national tour. When I get through with this, look, I'm about to hit this tour. When I come to y'all city, could y'all set up a little small meet and greet for it, brother? You know what I'm saying? Are y'all tweeting? Brother Edward. Y'all, I'm sorry, I have not been turning up the speeches because the King's speeches are on high alert on all of the internet services, right? And so the second you play it, they pull your broadcast down. The Kings want they check. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. That's that Sonia Escobar. She want a check too. shoes, everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Up on the crime side, the New York Times side. With no jive. No, man. It's when they moved to Shower and Land. You are tuned into the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, you know, I was talking about it on the break. I think we need to, you know how you used to say change the money up. I'm going to tell you what, we should have like a black surprise MLK Day next year. And next year, like when, because I'm telling you, man, all the white folks come out for MLK Day. Right? They will buy a table, they'll sponsor, they'll do whatever you ask them.
It's a guilt thing.
Right? They be like, I'm doing it for MLK Day. So what I'm thinking is, because you know at MLK Day, there'd be more white people than black people some days at them banquets.
Well, there'd certainly be more white dollars involved than black dollars.
Exactly. So what I'm thinking is, what if every kid, because you know, pick black kids to do the I Have a Dream speech, you shine them up real good, they put their bow tie on, they get up there and they stand up there and they say, yeah, now look, we got a captive audience of all the top white people. Come on, think about it. Mayor Emanuel has the MLK Day breakfast. You got everybody got a King Day breakfast all around the country. What if we had a pact and all the black parents whose kids got to do the I Have a Dream speech, switched it up and put the I need my check at the end. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? So look, all the white folks, they ready for the little black kid come up there and shine and say, one day I'm going to be like the white kids too. But what if they change it up? And they all came out there and they was like, and you know what? Take their speech. You know I'm going to do something different. You know how the preacher do? You know what?
I'm going to do another speech.
I'm going to do another speech. You know, I was reading Dr. King, and I'm going to do another speech. And they're going to be like, oh, look at little Jamal. He is so great. He read another page. And then they're going to start looking at the speech. They're going to start hearing them do it. And they're going to be, where they come from? And then at the end, can you imagine a little black kid be like, I want my check?
So what you're talking about now is guerrilla warfare. You're talking about guerrillas, man. You're talking about the same kind of brothers that would grind up the glass in Mars's.
No, man.
You're talking
I'm not.
but you're talking about revolutionary tactic.
But that's
you're talking. Hey, I like that in you, brother.
I'm
That's why I'm sitting here.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But look, could you imagine that?
Oh,
all the black parents. Look, could you imagine? And then we got to have a camera. Right? Because you know the white people got to clap, right? See, you that's them uncomfortable social circumstances because you can't not clap. And why you got the camera there? You say, can we get that check though? Where do you stand?
That's what I'm talking about, man. That check, we got to have that check has to start becoming the conversation when we talk to these politicians. What about the check? I'm talking about the black politicians too. Not only the white politicians.
Right.
I'm talking about all the politicians. What about the check? Now, we're not going to solve the problem because, you know, there also has to be, as you so eloquently state, the list. But we got to start the conversation.
Ron.
The conversation about the check.
Hey.
Ron.
Yeah, hey, Amazing Charles, make sure to add an addendum to it. We do not want it coming back insufficient funds. So, you know, if you give somebody a check and it comes back insufficient funds, I think you have to give them cash. And last we got another speech. To me, his best speech was a letter from a Birmingham prison. And he talked about preachers, and you can have politicians in there now spewing pious irrelevancies. Read that speech too, because that's what we're hearing now. Okay? Thanks, guys.
Hey, Ron, we appreciate you. Hey, man, so Charles, who would collect the check? Who would collect the check?
That is for people with a, you know, who have studied it, been involved in it. They will come up with that. I don't have it right now. I can't sit here and tell you how to collect the check.
I tell you what, though. You know what, man? You know, I do agree with Ron in that insufficient funds. Check this out, man. I want it off the debit card. Because, see, you know the debit card, they don't let you spend what you ain't got. And you just take the cash. You know, they write you a check and you be like, it'll be good in 3 days. And the next thing you know, they done changed it up on you. They done changed up the money. Let me see if we can squeeze one more person in. Let's go with Deborah. Deborah, you got literally 30 seconds.
Hi.
You got to get off that speakerphone.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was...
Come on. Go ahead.
Carl Alexander, Alderman Dorothy Tillman, and some other distinguished men and women across the country have been to Washington with the bill in reference to reparation. For some strange reason, we have been stuck in I Have a Dream. No one ever took the time, unfortunately, to read and listen to other tapes of Dr. King. It's never too late. There's still time. There's still hope. We can still do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. You know what, Charles? I Have a Dream almost seems like it's the antithesis of woke.
You know, dreaming, when you're dreaming, you sleep.
You sleep. I'm tired of dreaming. I'm ready for us to be woke and to get ours. You know how they did it in, you know what? Did you see that? Did you see School Days?
Yep.
Remember at the end when he was like, wake up! Y'all, it's time for us to wake up. We got to stop dreaming. Let's put a plan together. It's the Talk of Chicago, 1690, and we'll be back after traffic and the weather.
We're coming to get our check. The Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Another cold day in Chicago.
Mayor's West. Yeah, guys, I got a whole complete new thinking thought process on Dr. King. But man, we need to wake up. Wake up. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. Time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so... See, here go the man. Here go the man. Here we go. Let's see, get a camera. This dude. Here we go. My man. Here we go. First person. What's up, man?
Hey, we're probably not going to get to caller Tammy, who was at the thing yesterday on the air. You want to talk to her now on a speaker? Fans?
Sure, I'll talk to Tammy. Okay, hold on. Guys, we're going to have a live conversation with Tammy. She's a caller. Hold on. And you guys will get to witness me calling and talking to her live. Okay, let's do it.
All right, let me turn the speaker up just a little bit. And
hey, Tammy, what's up? Hello? Tammy?
Hello?
Hi,
Yes.
Tammy, this is Maze. I'm sorry I don't think we're going to be able to get to your call, but I did want to hear about what happened. And you are on with our Facebook Live audience as well. And you too.
Okay.
How was it yesterday?
Oh, I'm so tired. I was there since 5:30 yesterday morning, so it was powerful, and a lot of good important points they were talking about as far as what do we do after April 4th with all this singing and dancing and preaching and everything. Where do we go from here? So they said some really good points for people to, take home to their communities, and and they really talked about the power of voting, how a lot of African Americans didn't vote. So there was a lot of stuff they talked about, took notes and stuff, but it was very powerful. So the question is, where do we go from here?
And was there a solution proposed as to where we go from here?
Well, they talked about as far as people going out, definitely get more people votes. They talked about the violence in the community. When the mayor and the governor of Memphis came up there, oh my God, the residents just booed them because you couldn't hardly hear them with the poverty and the gun violence. The education. So I don't have my notes because I was taking notes of everything that, some important points they took. William Barber talked about, in Flint, Michigan, you can get unleaded gas, but you can't get unleaded water.
Damn!
So
unleaded gas!
Powerful,
that was a good one.
Points that a lot of the panel gave. So, but it was a good. I had a great time. I learned a lot.
Well, you know what? I appreciate you giving us a live feedback from it. Who would you say was the most impactful speaker for you?
Oh my God, that's hard to say. Oh,
give me your top three.
It's hard because all of them made some great points. I mean, Reverend William Barber, or Father Slager. I would say between those two.
Okay.
And Roland Martin too. He gave a good speech. He said, "If you don't vote, shut the hell up." So.
Okay. So you know what? I appreciate that. So thank you so much for telling us and that. And look, stay listening to. Where you calling from?
I'm in Memphis. I'm from Chicago.
Oh, you're in Memphis though. We got a live correspondent. So check that out. You gave our Facebook and YouTube. You are a live correspondent from Memphis, Tennessee. You see how hard we work for our listeners, man? We sent a correspondent all the way down to Memphis, Tennessee, just to give our Facebook Live and YouTube listeners a live report. Thank you so much. You know what? Get her a pair of honorary wings, and the next time you go out of town, you give us a call in advance. Tammy will be like, Tammy's in the field for us. All right?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tammy, even she can't see us.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tammy.
Try to have some fun with the people,
You're
y'all.
the best listener.
Can I tell y'all what? Yesterday, I promise y'all.
Hey, I'm sorry. We're switching up gears here. We won't be able to get you.
I promise y'all I had an attitude last night at first. Because it was getting late. I didn't get a nap. But them WVON listeners can make a dude feel real special. Like real talk. They and they listen and they pay attention, and I just couldn't leave. It was something to behold. Something to behold. Oop, I got y'all reversed. All right. One day when I'm famous, we're going to have a cameraman. And I'm not going to be pushing buttons. And it's going to be like the Breakfast Club. And I'm just get to sit in a chair and talk. And they're going to just give us our stories, and it's going to be on paper, and we're just going to show up, and we don't have to get guests. One day when I'm famous. I think, Tennille, that's the series. One day when I'm famous. The things I'm going to do when I'm famous. I'm going to be famous one day, y'all. For real. Because I is smart, and I is kind, and I is... It's late night with Maze Jackson. See, I can do that. Put the mic there, like here. See, like, I can do Conan's job. Come on, y'all. Actually, so check this out. I'm gonna do an evening show, like a late night show. I'm gonna tape it early. Would you be a part of the studio audience? And we're gonna have guests, and it's gonna be kind of like dun 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 dun, sort of like Johnny Carson, the black version. I'm gonna take it back, and then we're gonna broadcast it. You hear this, Brother Muhammad? Also, don't forget, in the den tonight. Watch us on Facebook Live, and Brother Muhammad, we want to be on YouTube too. NTA will be on the show. How y'all doing over there on YouTube? Y'all still there? Dennis, Amina, Michelle. Oh, Double J. John, Charles, put you out there today. They done blew your cover. Y'all so hot. Butter crunch. I wear my pinky for y'all. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. Charles, you know we can't do the WVON morning show without saying what's up to the morning show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar. Hey, Charles, did you see Annette trying to slide in there yesterday, trying to be extra super fly? She had her little... She said she was gonna try to be like Halle Berry, and you know she got a growing social media fan club. I think she trying to put it on them. Annette came in yesterday like, yeah, she felt, it's like she got this mix of news personality and then it's that voice. I want to have like one day, man. I wish I could. You got that voice, she got that voice, and I got this. I be like, dang! Hey, y'all, it is the WVON morning show. And Charles, so, hey, man, mayor's race. I told you, I think we agreed that the day after the primary, I felt like the mayor's race had begun. Like, truly begun.
Yeah, it has. I mean, and yesterday... it was announced that Willie Wilson has donated $100,000 to his own campaign, which means that the contribution limits on all candidates have been lifted. So now it's a spending free-for-all that those who can spend free-for-all can get involved in. I think it really suggested something far more worrisome, and that is that Willie Wilson is going to have to self-finance his campaign. He's got to pay people, and he's not getting any contributions from people, so he's going to have to do it himself, and that's worrisome because Rahm Emanuel can come up with $25 million.
Hold on, because
if he wants to.
You're right.
Donors, and Willie would have to match that dollar for dollar, and I don't think he has that kind of money.
You know what I thought it was? So, Charles, that when he donated that $100,000, it took the caps off the race.
Right.
And so what people, if you don't know what taking the caps off the race means, it means that there's no limit on the amount of money that can now be spent on a campaign.
Or can be donated by individual donors to a campaign.
Exactly. And so, Charles, this is where, again, see how black folks, we don't donate to campaigns for the most part. We believe, first of all, I think what happens is we don't get very much from our politicians in some cases. So black folks be like, when they go to the campaign, they be like, man, they go see an elected official. They be like, you owe me already, right? Bro, you want me to give you some money and my street look like this? I ain't giving you a dollar. The white folks go in and they donate to the campaigns. And when they donate to the campaigns, they then have an inroad to said elected official. But it also makes the elected official able to withstand challenges. Willie Wilson donating the $100,000 means that Rahm was able to take that $100,000 and show it to a bazillion investors who would say, I'm going to give you $100,000 each. And so now the challenge becomes, and see, this is what I'm concerned about with Willie Wilson. Charles, there's going to be a lot of money going out, but not a lot coming in.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. I went to Willie Wilson's announcement event last week at Chicago State. There were a lot of people there, and a lot of them came because they have met or contacted or intersected with Willie Wilson at various churches. And Willie Wilson has been giving those churches thousands of dollars over many, many years. I want to see if those churches give Willie Wilson some money. And I don't know that has ever happened. What will ever happen?
Okay, hold on. We got to put some reality to this. When have we ever seen the collection plate go the other way? I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying, Blaze. I mean, I want to see those people who Willie Wilson has helped. Yeah, they'll go vote for him, but will they raise money for him? Will they put money in the plate, in another plate that's specifically earmarked for Willie Wilson?
So Charles,
I think by law they can't do that, but they can do it outside of church.
they got plenty of money in their own. Charles, you know, this goes to my point of, dang, I lost it. The Willie Wilson and the fact that these preachers will not donate to him. Charles, I just think this is going to be a real challenging situation because most of the people that you see around Willie Wilson are getting a check, right? Or they're trying to get a check, or they're in the pursuit of a check. So the challenge that I like, so think of Willie Wilson and think of J.B. Pritzker, right? And we talked about, remember how I told you about JB being the Vic, like you got a live one on the line and he gonna spend money? In some cases, I'm concerned that there are people that will treat Willie Wilson that way to a smaller level.
They absolutely are. A lot of them, I know, they did it last time. Not all of them.
Right.
Not all of them. But some of them did it last time. Around when he ran, they were there to get that check because they know that Willie Wilson can afford to spend to a certain degree, not like JB or Bruce Rauner, but he can spend.
And I want to, talk about the preachers. And you remember I was telling you about that MWRD race with Simon Gordon versus Cam Davis, and it was the black preachers versus the white North Shore liberals, and would they be able to mobilize and make something happen? I think that's reflective of what you'll see with Willie Wilson as it relates to you expecting, not you expecting, but checking on the churches.
I go back to that incident, to the situation where Willie Wilson was raising money to help people with their property taxes, or I think it was their property taxes or bail bonds, one of the two.
Right.
The Willie Wilson Foundation.
Right.
He put $150,000 into that foundation. I think that foundation ended up with like $155,000.
And you probably gave him 3 of the 5, right?
And so, the thing is, nobody is giving to Willie Wilson. I mean, he is such a generous person. And, people have got to understand that they got to give something to Willie Wilson for him to really do this.
So now, so here go me again, Maze. This is the Maze thing. And this is why I be getting mad. Y'all got me the last time. WVON listening audience had me all riled up. T.O. put on the Wakanda, and the black folks was going. And then he got 2% of the vote. Charles, I am concerned that there are more people trying to take away than put in. And I don't know if when the phone rings from the mayor with all them churches that got after school programs, I don't know if Willie Wilson's contributions are going to equal that. And I just think that, man, it's like Willie Wilson has done all the stuff you're supposed to do. He's been active in the community. But Charles, without input or a massive we either got money power or people power. Them the two we got. Will the preachers and the churches give him the people power that he needs if they can't give him the money power?
Well, they gave him a certain amount of people power last time. He won 10% of the vote in a 4-person, 5-person?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what. We got 10% of the vote. That really, in this day and age, with 9 candidates potentially getting involved, that is a decent base. I think he'll do better than 10%, but he's going to have some money. I mean, to do better than 10%, he's going to have some money. And if people don't give him any money, and this is an indication that he doesn't even expect him to give him any money, I think it's going to be a real tough road.
Charles, I think you're going to need more than, I think this race is going to wind up. I think that in this campaign, I think that they would spend easily $100 million to keep the mayor in the spot, because there's a lot of money. There's a lot of people.
That's a lot of money for the city election.
Guess what? Can I tell you what though? Think about this governor's race.
Yeah,
and
it's statewide.
Think about,
a lot of money.
but if you Michael Sachs, right, If you Lefkowski and all these people that's got all this tech and all this stuff coming, you pay pretty much whatever. Man, I was talking to a developer the other day, man, and they perspective on the mayor, they believe that this is the greatest thing happening. I'm telling you that they believe that they got to do whatever to save him, and I'm telling you it's going to be infinite amounts of money. Look, we're going to talk about that. Plus, hey, man, your boy Gary McCarthy, stick and move. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to add some more dynamics to this race when we come back after traffic and weather. Y'all?
Are you going to talk about Eddie?
You got Eddie at 8 o'clock, brother.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock is the Eddie. I want to talk to you. At 7:30 is J.B. Pritzker and these taxes. You heard me? J.B. Pritzker, the taxes, and the black people's getting fired. I talk about the black people getting fired. You talk about the taxes. Okay. Hey, y'all. It's the WVON Morning Show. Hey, I see y'all on YouTube. You got about 36. Very good question. What is his path to victory?
For Willie?
Yep.
Yeah, I would, he's got to be very careful not to throw good money after bad. But then that's where a lot of ego comes into play, and you start believing what they call sycophants. Is that what they call them? People that stay around you and sycophants. They tell you how great you're as long as you're paying. You got to be very careful about that. You got to deal with reality.
And that's what I'm trying to like. Yeah, I'm just telling you. Willie Wilson right now is the biggest fish in the pond. Everybody trying to get a piece. Now, Willie's going to attract because he's paying people already. Paul has probably got a base. Gary McCarthy's got some people that are financing him. Bridget's got a base. Bridget is probably going to have, it's going to be interesting. She's going to have labor compromised, right? And with Jorge Ramirez leaving, that's a peculiarly interesting situation because he was the mayor's ally. But Bridget is from the Irish faction that wants back. So I'll tell you, I had a very interesting conversation. And I was talking to a developer who was telling me how great Rom was, right? Telling me how he is all in and how much better things are in the city since he's been in power. And he was like, and he was just an adamant, vociferous supporter. And he was like, so, what do you think? And I was like, I think that, of course. He's like, business and everything is working. I said, and it is from this street going north. He was like, well, we're able to get building permits and we're able to get, I said, so basically what happened from my perspective, and he wasn't ready for this, is that the Irish people did not allow the Jewish people to get ahead. They took care of themselves. When Rom took over, he kicked the Irish out and the Jewish people took over. So now Jewish people are getting wealthier. I said, but that largesse has not spread it to the black community. So so while you're talking about the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund and they're like, we're putting millions of dollars in the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, I was like, that money is going to people who don't. We're not feeling it or seeing it, and it's still in the same bubble. It's like there is a complete confusion. Like, I'm going to tell you that there is a mental disconnect because people they are not even contemplating the same type of financial issues that we talk about. Yesterday, Tucson, I saw Toya 2 days ago at the fundraiser, by the way, if Tucson is there. Tucson was talking about how could Faisal Khan afford to live in Chicago and New York. And quite frankly, I think that was emblematic of the fact that black folks are not, the amount of money that's moving around, we just not privy to it, y'all. I mean, the things that I see from these young white kids that's going on that are doing at 20 and 30 is stuff that we're achieving at 40 and 50 if we're making it to that level. I am going to tell you that there is a complete disconnect financially because we're playing in two different ballparks. So it's like when you sit at your house, and we're sitting, say you go to a place like Soho and you see all these kids and people and they rolling around and they you it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Whoa! What am I doing? What's up, Tizzle? We on YouTube too. So you can stay low. La, 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 wait till I get my money right. La, 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 wait till you do me nothing right. What are we? You can't tell me nothing. You see how song you be doing that? You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, we're talking about this mayor's race, man. And, I got to talk about this Gary McCarthy again. Because, boy, you want to talk about shots fired. I mean, he is, I told you this thing, he going to make the tight walk a reality in this whole mayoral's contest. Did you see this thing about him and responding to the mayor?
Right. He basically, the part that struck me when he said the mayor is calling out Donald Trump when he responds to something Gary McCarthy says, or tries to link Gary McCarthy to Rudy Giuliani, all these people that are not from Chicago. And I don't think that works for Democrats generally. And it certainly isn't going to work in a city election.
I'm going to read it to you. This is what he said. He said, he said he doesn't want to talk about policy. I'm talking about shootings. He's talking about Trump, said McCarthy, who also hails from New York. I talk about schools. He's talking about former Mayor Rudy Giuliani. I talk about economy. He's talking about global warming. Ever since then, I've been fielding his attack strategy, which isn't about talking policy. He doesn't want to pitch to me, so he pitches around me. I think he wants to see if I'll swing at a bad pitch. Yeah, that's poetic for open. Was that not poetic? That is metaphoric
for
with it being
day,
opening.
Yeah, he's appealing to the
South
side. The Greenwood, Mount Greenwood, Beverly. He's
the Canaryville
19th ward. That's the most vote-rich ward in the city of Chicago.
Amen. I want to see who you think it's opening day. Who you think is going? Do you think people will take pictures with him or go away from him? Because on opening day at you know what, man? Speaking of that, Charles, you rock a White Sox hat every single day. We talk about how we rep the White Sox. You know who called and asked me that I want some opening day tickets?
Who did?
The Cubs.
The Cubs called you to ask you if you wanted some opening day tickets for the Cubs game.
Right. And here it is that it's White Sox opening day. Did you get tickets?
How do you know? No, I would never say here.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I
might be paying my own way in.
You know what? That's all right, because you know what they did that made me straight? They took care of our boy. They gave him his job back after 25 years. Nevis?
Nevis.
Yes.
Is it Coleman?
Coleman, I believe it was. Yeah. So, okay, White Sox should get a pass. But, Charles, the thing, I think McCarthy got this from Real Talk. This whole Trump thing. I'm going to just claim it. Since we are the top-rated morning show in Chicago. He got that from you get three, we say 3 Trump cards. You get 3 Bruce Rounders, you get 3 Trumps. We gave it to him here, we said you get 3 Donald Trumps. He didn't use none. But then he came on the show, on the podcast too, 3 Donald Trumps. I think, man, watch this, Charles. I bet you that's going to be a recurring theme. Like, we can't keep talking about Donald Trump.
No, it's definitely going to happen. I think
Can we take that out off the table? Can we take that off the table? Is it a way we could just say, y'all? Can we just, you know how in geometry, Charles, they say like, you know, they got givens? Can we just say in Illinois, Donald Trump is bad as a given, and you can't talk about that no more, so we can talk about some substantive policies? You know, I don't know if we're going to change global warming here in Chicago. I'm going to tell you what. If the mayor wanted to resonate with people, he would take himself to the south side. He would take himself to the west side. We would start seeing economic development. We would not be driving through the south and west sides arguing about undocumented immigrancy, trying to get what we trying to get sanctuary when black folks ain't got no jobs. You know, man.
Or sanctuary, by the way.
Man, Dorothy Tillman brought the book in here yesterday, showed us what type of sanctuary black folks get. Look, man, this mayoral race is going to happen around us again if we're not smart.
Everybody's looking for a base. Everybody's looking for a base.
Charles, did you see Troy LaRiviere yesterday on Chicago Tonight?
No, I didn't.
Go back and watch that. He was at, man, I tried to, you know what? See, that's probably what my problem was. I was trying to do some show prep before I went to bed at 11:30. You know, when I got home last night, wasn't nothing to eat. Nothing was open. I ain't really, you know what. So, Charles, this mayor's race, though, I'm telling you, it's going to get real interesting, and I think you hit something on the head that we'll talk about when we come back. J.B. Pritzker looks like he's going to walk into that spot, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Bruce Rauner can mount.
No, we can talk about it. I mean, I think there's some. He made what I thought. JB made a very momentous announcement this week, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
After traffic, news, and the weather. Good one. All right, y'all. Take a moment, share the broadcast. YouTube, y'all got to get your weight up. You got to get your weight up. YouTube, you got a week to get to 100 or we going down.
Man, when I left last night, I stopped at White Castle for some reason. Man, I ate one and a half of those things, man, and I said, I can't do this again. Man, that was awful, man.
White Castle?
Huh?
Hey, man, let me tell you.
Nasty, man.
But hey, look, we don't want to duck because, you know, they the big sponsor of the VON, Taste of WVON.
Right now. No, I'm not. I thought we were off the air.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, man, they got
some great milkshakes. Did y'all see that thing about their milkshake? Milkshakes will make you, you know what? I feel like you can't do nothing in this country no more. Hey, y'all, it's hot in here. Like, I wonder, do they have to keep the suits on in the hot studio lights? Like, what if there were, like, big, fat studio lights, and I gotta sit here and cook? I would probably just, would you do your show with, like, no, we gotta put an X right here, and then I'll know where to keep my belly. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. So, remember that thing I told y'all about black people at the end of an election? Right? At the end of it, black people are the most important voters in the Democratic primary, and they will do everything in the world to get you. After the Democratic primary, Marnook, see ya! You're up out of here. So, for those of you who question me on why I said that if you're gonna get it, you gotta get it now, this is why. Right? So now, do y'all think anybody that you know black is voting for Bruce Rauner? Taxes or no? No. So guess what? Your negotiation opportunity is pretty much popped. Did you negotiate? How would your negotiations with T.O. go right now? So right now, at the end of, so this is what I want to do. I want to highlight to you that when I was trying to explain that we needed to figure out what it was and cut the deal with the candidates in the primary, it was because I knew that immediately following, right? And I want you to understand, black folks ain't gonna vote Republican. So now, what are your tangible negotiated points with the outcome? See, I think you have to look at who you honestly believe is going to be the winner, right? And once you know who you believe is going to be the winner, then that's when you make your decision as to who you will go with, right? Because I don't care who it is. Losers don't make or shape policy, right? They don't. So I would challenge you to understand that most black people that you've seen in power in administrations, whether it's been Daley or whether it's been Rahm, those are the mayors that I've seen. And even the black folks that you call the sellouts that go, if they go with, there's more value for the black person that goes where black people are not going than there is for the person that goes where all the black people are. Got it? So, if all the black people are voting for this candidate, and we know that, the black dude that goes with the white candidate that wins has way more influence over what happens because he's usually the only black person there. The perfect example of that would be like a Michael Scott, right? Michael Scott was with the Dailies even before during Harold. So like imagine being the one black dude that's on the Daily camp that sticks with them. By the time it's all over, then Michael Scott is elevated as the top black dude who got all the jurisdiction over black folks. So, for instance, I would tell you that no matter who the mayor or who the governor or whoever it is, my interests are going to be the interests of black people. So, if I went into a meeting with Bruce Rauner, I would be asking the same questions I would be asking that I went in with J.B. Pritzker. I would ask the same questions from all of them, knowing that you got to know, and this is the thing that I try to explain to people if they will listen. You have to hire people who have credibility outside of the political position, right? So I believe in a lot of cases, whoever I choose to help, I bring value to them. They don't bring value to me. They can only bring value to me if they win and allow us to help our people, right? So sometimes you gamble. Sometimes you gamble. But I always try to pick the winner because you cannot make policy with the losers. It's just that simple. And I think that we have to figure out how do we teach that. Because we get caught up in the personality, not the policy. So again, you to school each day, wait for you to pass my way, and they'll start to ring. An angel starts to say, hey, that's the girl for you. Hey, Carrie. So what are you gonna do? Hey, little girl, I love you. So all I do is think of you. Day and night, that's all I do. I can't get you off my mind. Think about all the time, all the time. I could get to take the long way home, just so I can be alone, to think of how to say, my heart is there to stay. Hey, I'm in I think the world of you. So won't you please, please be mine? Allah. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. So what you doing? Don't you be playing that troop. You're taking me back to high school. It is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, yesterday you came in here all in a fuss. Like, did you hear about this press conference? Talk to me about the press conference.
It was press conference Tuesday. We talked about it yesterday because we had more important things to talk about, quite frankly, with the commemoration of Dr. King's murder. But on Tuesday, the Democratic nominee for governor, J.B. Pritzker, announced that he wanted to raise temporarily the state's income tax rate. And keep in mind, the income tax was raised last year by 32%. He wants to raise it again temporarily until, he says, the state can pass a constitutional amendment to have a graduated or progressive income tax the way the feds do it. Right now, the state income tax rate is 4.95%, just under 5%. He wants to raise it higher. He wants to raise it higher, take more money out of your check, to basically try to shore up the state's horrible fiscal situation. Illinois is broke. They don't have any money. That's why they can't fund social services or education or anything else, because they're broke, basically. So he wants to raise the taxes again.
So what you want him to do?
Huh?
What's the solution?
There's got to be a solution beyond raising taxes again.
Can we cut our way out of it, you think?
You got it. Well, I think what you can do, you can start stopping people from leaving the state, stopping businesses from leaving the state, and do whatever you can to attract more to come here, to locate here, so that you can generate economic activity which can, help solve the problem. In other words, you got to be more like the states that are attracting people to their borders, as opposed to what's happening in Illinois right now, which is chasing people away.
Now, Charles,
what are they doing in Texas? What are they doing in Georgia that's different than what we're doing here? I don't know what that is, point by point, but we got to start looking at different models, because what we're doing is not working. And he's the candidate of Mike Madigan. Remember that. We all know that. He's Rahm's boy, JB is. And so he's talking about raising taxes again. What's his program? What is his idea to keep people in the state? He says nothing.
I guess I haven't read much on that. I guess my question would be, it sounds like the same thing you're saying, Charles, is what Bruce Rauner said 4 years ago.
And Bruce Rauner got nowhere with it, because Mike Madigan and the Democrats in the House and Senate would not let him do anything with it.
And so let me ask you a question. What's changed? Because the lick is, we got absolutely nothing for 4 years. Absolutely nothing.
Because he couldn't get it because of obstruction.
I'm with you.
The same way Obama didn't get anything during his past 6 years. Obstruction.
I'm so 100% with you. So, here we are, because, I'm just trying to be practical. I'm just trying, because y'all got me the last time. Right? So, now, I already know black folks ain't voting Republican. I don't care what nobody say. We tried to, they didn't even vote for T.O. And he was a Democrat. So now,
I don't get the symmetry there, but go ahead.
The symmetry is this: T.O. was put. I'm through with the impracticalities, like the hypotheticals, because there's not gonna be this magical uprising of black people that all of a sudden vote for Republicans. We know that Mike Madigan just won again. We done see I'm gonna give you the props. He has beat Me Too. He ain't getting touched, and he just won all his House races. So he's going to go back with the same power, with the same reaffirmation with his House members. So what changes with Governor Rauner? And again, I still say you can't change a player's game in the ninth inning. I don't know what he's done yet to convince black folks that they should do something different.
I haven't seen that either, but know that right now the same is not what we have been doing is not working. And I don't know that Mike Madigan or J.B. Pritzker or Rahm Emanuel has told us what their strategy is to keep people in the state of Illinois. Now, Rauner is saying you create an environment that would attract businesses here. He's saying this workman's comp changes and business tax reductions and tax reductions, all that stuff will keep people here. That's his turnaround agenda. You can argue about the turnaround agenda till you're blue in the face. I want to hear what J.B. Pritzker's turnaround agenda is, and I haven't. And then the other thing about J.B. Pritzker, he's talking about these tax increases. Tuesday, he said, well, I need that for education. We need to increase the taxes because that way we can fund education and take the pressure off property taxes. But the bottom line is they're using that lure of education again. Man, they've been doing that in this state for 30 some years. Remember they told us that the lottery was going to go for education? Whenever they want to give more money, basically to pay for pensions, they start talking about education. Always, we gonna do it for education. And they end up spending the money elsewhere. Education doesn't get the money, but they have to do it to pay off all the people that, support them politically to get into office. And you know who that is. I mean, they basically have not changed the pension system yet. They just haven't changed it.
I'm so with
it's gonna make a difference, man.
I'm with you, man. You know what? I'm really trying to see the world as it is, not as I would like it to be, right? And so I would like to believe that even as the top-rated morning show in the city of Chicago, I got to say that again, right? Even as the top-rated morning show in the city of Chicago, I don't know what changes if Rauner's reelected. I don't know what changes if JB is elected. I don't know what's in it for the black people, period. And I feel like the second that they say they're going to raise taxes, but they're going to use it to save social services or save the workers, whatever, we're going to be right down the same path.
Okay, Maze, but here's what we got to think about. Right now, I'm talking about the tax piece. You're going to talk about the whole inside the political organization piece. But if we don't have a situation where we got these guys competing for our votes between now and November, we certainly aren't going to get anything. Because if JB lies down and says, I don't need them Negroes going to show up and vote for me anyway, so I don't have to offer them anything. That's what's going on right now. The same playbook is playing out right now. They're going to spend $250, $300 million between now and November. How much of that money are black folks going to get in terms of the campaign? If we lay down and say, oh, we's with JB, oh, JB's our boy, we like a JB, Mr. JB. If we do that, we are screwed up and down the line. They got to compete. They got to compete. And if they don't compete, we are screwed.
So, I'm with you, my brother. I'm going to take a step back. When we was talking about T.O., and I'm going to use it again. We was talking about T.O., and I said, hey, y'all, T.O.'s not going to win. And if T.O.'s not going to win, we need to be in the best position to negotiate, right? We need to negotiate, and we need to negotiate now because I told you. I said after the primary, I said this ad nauseum, after the primary, black folks ain't voting Republican. And so now we talking about we going to make Bruce Rauner compete, but he ain't been playing for the last 4 years. So here's the lick. Now what we're seeing is what I said was going to happen, which is at the end of this Democratic primary, when black people have the most leverage, now we want to make the two white boys compete. Now, I'm just suggesting that the odds-on favorite right now, because, right, we talked about the safe Negro. We talked about all the things that happened. And guess what happened? J.B. Pritzker won every black ward and township. Just like all the same people said all the stuff about Rahm Emanuel. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think people are that mad at him. Right? And he won every black. The white people didn't vote for him. The Latinos didn't vote for him. It was the black community. And I'm just telling y'all not tricking me again.
Well, but I'll tell you this though, Mason. Again, I don't want to interrupt you, man. But it wasn't. But keep in mind, the turnout was very, very low. Those regulars who came out and voted, the majority of them voted for JB, but they didn't. The full weight and fury of the black vote did not happen, and I think you play the game. You gotta play the game.
Okay, we'll talk about it playing the game when we come back. It's the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. But if you're gonna play the game, you can't start it in the 9th inning, right? I keep saying, so here's the list. You negotiate when you have the most leverage. Right now, with Browner and with JB, we are the lowest on the totem pole of who he's got to convince. Your grandmama, all them people that went out to vote, that Willie Whatchamajim got 17%. It's like we're trying to convince us. I feel like my brother is trying to convince us that. Let me not say my brother's trying to convince us. Let me say that again. We always bet on the hope. Do y'all know any black people that are voting Republican? Yeah, you know the 2% of the black people on this that's mad are going to vote Republican. But the masses, remember all the sleep people? All the people that we was like, how could this happen? The same people, we're basing our mindset off the same premise of Bob Fioretti. Right? Remember all that rage, all the full rage of the pop tax. Tony Preck. So here's the thing. I do politics. And it's like, so this is what we gonna keep on trying to do. Like I was the one who said play the game, but you gotta play the game in September and you gotta make people know. They looked at them totals and said, we ain't even spending that hard in the black community. We gonna do something to keep it down, but there's not gonna be a massive exodus of black people going to Republicans. Do you know any? So yes, it gets us 4 more years of no budget. Or 4 more years of the governor getting overridden because can't nobody do 4 years of the joint. It's like, sitting up here trying to convince me that black people are going to vote for Bruce Rauner is just not realistic. And I would be misleading all of us if I said that I believe that was going to happen. If Bruce Rauner is smart, he works to suppress the black vote, right? To get people not to come. But here's the deal. And it's just a proven fact. And it's like, do y'all remember all the smack that got talked about T.O.? And do y'all remember all the smack we talked about? So think about this. We said somebody would have suggested that we all vote for T.O. to teach them a lesson. That didn't work. Not only did it not work, he doubled down. And with all of the negative talk that we did here, we live in the only blue state. So should I negotiate with the red guy right. Should I vote for the white Republican? And I just got to note that this last election was the highest off-year election turnout in the last 20 years. Yeah, so I just don't know if that's how it works. I don't see it. So how do we win? We back. Take a moment, share the broadcast.
I feel so blue.
Stephanie, I'm not surprised T.O. got 2% of the vote. I knew it was going to happen, but I'm so busy listening to the bubble. and quiet as it's kept, he had a deal. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, we are talking about what's going on with J.B. Pritzker, the taxes. And, you know, one of the things that I say that happens at the end of every primary. Black folks, that it was the great. Remember I told you about JB? I was like, you got to think about JB with the brothers. Like, they got a did I say a fat Vic? I didn't mean it like that. But they got a Vic on the line. They got a Vic on the line, and he got the cash bag. So you got to hit it up now. Because I said, after the primary, black folks don't count.
But I love the story you tell about experience in the Pat Quinn campaign.
Man.
I love that story.
Pat Quinn. So on the field, you know what I'm saying? You know, because they let the black guy get the campaign spotted for the black guy is the field director. You can't be the campaign manager, you can be the field director. So but you know, Charles, the vote comes down, it's the election, they got the Dan Hines running the Harold Washington commercial, and they are like, I was the most important person in the campaign at one point. You guys got the video. Maze, what do we do? Oh my God, the black people, man, Charles, I mean, I'm telling you, they used to like lay flowers at my feet when I walked in the door.
But tell us what happened.
Then after we won the primary, I went to the meeting like, man, I got all these ideas. Let me tell you what we're going to do for the black community now. Because I'm telling you, we can run our numbers up. They was like, Maze, we don't, you're no longer, what do you call you, obsolete? Like, I felt obsolete. They were like, you know, after the primary, what are the blacks going to do? Vote Republican? We're not going to invest any more money over there. And the fact of the matter is, and I was pissed.
I know you were.
You want to talk? Because I mean, I'm talking about, I walked around being like royalty, and I came back, and they was like, man, you get an office in the cold shit.
Just like
OJ. I got OJ.
You got OJ.
Man.
OJ. You know.
Remember, I tell you, that's my story of white patriarchy, where that was when I was like, white liberals are probably more racist than down south.
Okay, let's fast forward.
Go ahead.
That is happening right now as we sit here talking. JB is saying, I don't to worry about you Negroes anymore.
Do you think that's the case though? I don't know if that's the case. I think it's.
Are people laid off in the campaign? Isn't he moving the campaign toward the Democratic committee?
Yeah, but he's
now and not away from the street stuff and the black stuff and.
Well, yeah, but I think that most of that. So I'll be honest with you. I said this yesterday. I do know that they are. A lot of people are a little gruntled because they've been on the tip for a long time, right? JB has been putting people on the bricks and paying good money for a year. So that money get good to you. But at the end of the primary, right, he had people, look, people's like, I know what a retainer is now, but they retainers ended, right? Because right now, he kept his staff, so the black people that were actually employees, they stayed. But it's what happens, Charles, they whack you because they ain't finna be doing all that street stuff. Now it'll come back maybe about October. But like the fat, big old retainers, like, you know, people walking around here like, JB, JB, JB. They ain't walking around here like, JB, JB. Because they like, man, I ain't getting no check. Like Dr. King said, I want my check. Now, I just say this, guys. This is why we've got to negotiate during the primary. Black folks, your highest point of leverage is during the primary. Because I'm saying like this, Charles, and I know you saying we gonna get the same old thing, but I'm telling you, I am convinced we gonna get the same old thing. Because I'm convinced.
But
Charles,
let me say this.
2%.
I have a dream.
You know, and that damn dream is we sitting here right now, still dreaming. Living in a nightmare of a state for black folks. Hey man, somebody told me, you know what? You know the texts I get during this show, some days I be like, you know, this is too much. Y'all telling us too much information. Charles, all I know is this. Go ahead.
I'll say this. If they're going to spend $250 million,
I want my check. I'll say it. I want my check. I'm sorry, Annette. And to everybody in it, look, and I ain't even, I want my check.
I want my check.
I want
I needs my money.
I needs my money. Hey, man, let me just. I just don't know if all the seniors that turned out, remember, because let me tell you who would be listening to you, Charles, on that vote Republican stuff.
Who's that?
The millennials. But you know how many of them came out?
I'm not saying vote Republican. I'm saying look at the choices, black man. Look at what you got, what you've had, what you could get if you bargain, if you cut a deal, if you go to these people with a list, both of them, not just one of them, but both of them. Think of what the possibilities could be, because what we've been doing is not working. It just doesn't work.
I'm 100% with you.
We have to begin to broker our own political power, not just in March, but in November as well.
I think it's in March, because I still just, I wonder, Charles, if you ain't been playing all year for all year, I don't know how you get in halfway and say it. So let's talk about it.
I came into WVON this morning, and out on our marquee, I saw a big picture of JB and Queen Sugar and them, or whatever. I mean, wouldn't it be twice as nice if the other guy had a photo out there too and he made a play?
Does the other guy know that there's black people out here in this facility?
Let's make sure that happens, is what I'm saying, because it would be better. It would be better for all the black media in town.
Well, we'll talk about more when we come back after news, traffic, and the weather.
And the voice of the nation, 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Eddie, I want to talk to you.
Temperatures currently in the 20s. Good morning. I'm Beth Lordone. Shots fired on Lakeshore Drive in the wee hours of the morning. Hit a 26-year-old woman. What happened near?
I think guys, I think that a tremendous amount of the people that vote, I will always maintain that they don't tell you to vote smart. They just say vote, right? And as they know you just vote, they know that your instinct, you grew up. Your instinct was to hit the D, right? And so if you're going to hit the D and it's your instinct, I'm not going to do anything to change that. Y'all, so now the question becomes,
That is something that residents here really bristle at. Many officials like to point out up and down many of the border communities that they're some of the same
I want us to get away from political hopes, right? So the best indication of future performance is past performance. You know, if it wasn't for certain people in the governor's office like Vince Bass, they would have absolutely no credibility. And I'm saying that if you know that 13% of the black population of the state is the black community, as the governor, then why aren't you spending in the primary if you got it like that? I mean, I think that, again, I don't believe that you can enter the game at halftime. And I just don't. I also don't think that anything is going to change for Governor Rauner if he was not changed. I don't think anything is going to change for the governor. Remember President Obama, right? And we were like, in the next 4 years. I don't think nothing is going to change for Governor Rauner. And I think that the legislature saw that for all intents and purposes, Mike Madigan won. I told you that the pain, I used to say all the time, the pain and suffering of black people is the leverage that both white folks use. Who can make the black folks holler the loudest? They've done a much better job of pinning all of this stuff on black folks. And so get off, not the woke folks, but the average person. You walk down the street and you ask them, they're going to say Bruce Rauner is bad.
Her mother's appointment was just moved up. So now it has to leave work again. If her mom had
And I don't know, Stephanie, if they're really getting that bag. I was just looking at some numbers from Corey that he sent to me, and he's gotten at least $50 million to black businesses since he's been to the tollway. Like, verifiable. That's a big deal. You know, I just think you got to look at it, y'all. I think Mayor is going to be a race, and actually two game table. We talked about the mayor's race earlier. You know, so I'll be honest with you. I went to college with Troy. I like Troy. I am concerned that Troy is going to be. I'm concerned that Troy's base has been eroded. That makes sense. If you notice, he came kind of to prominence fighting Rahm. He came to prominence fighting Rahm and having the support of the Chicago Teachers Union. Chicago Teachers Union has gotten their contracts, and if you notice, they haven't said anything bad about Rahm. So I don't know where his base of support comes from, and I don't know where he gets money. It's hard for black candidates to get large donors, especially when they shut off that piece. I also think that I was watching him yesterday, and his body language seemed angry, right? Again, that's not a slight. That's just me watching as like, I am in no way, shape, or form denigrating his candidacy. I was just watching. Y'all, the other thing that was brought to my attention was that, is it possible that Willie Wilson helped the mayor by putting that $100,000 in? Did he spend the money? And by putting the $100,000 in, why would you play to the mayor's strong suit, which is money? Like, if it's me, I tell all the candidates, no one self-financed their candidacy, and no one put that much money in, because then you keep him limited, right? So the mayor can only spend $1 million is different than him being able to spend $50 million. But nobody will talk about that, right? Nobody will say that. Like, whoever advised him of that was either working. You see, y'all, but y'all get mad at me if I tell y'all too much truth, right? Like, so I'm Willie Wilson, and I bust the cap limits. Why would I bust the cap limits? If I want to keep the numbers down, because the mayor can raise as much money as possible. But I know that's too much to talk about. I'm not suggesting that there's a conspiracy. I'm suggesting that whoever the strategist was not thinking about it, right? I don't think they did him a service by doing that. I don't know how a person like that plays in my mind to his strongest suit. You keep him spending as little money as possible that he can't use his war chest. What they want to do, like if I'm all of them, there is no money, I keep the numbers low, I make the mayor only have to spend. I question who advised him to break the limits and to break the limits so early, right? Like, why now? Like, why give the dude the opportunity to just raise unspecified amounts of money when you can keep his hands tied? That's crazy to me. But what the fuck do I know? I mean, excuse me. I got my suit on. You like that? Oh, I gotta hit the ball. Flex. Hot. The world on my shoulder. Watching, I'ma show ya. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building, but y'all know how we do every day at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I gotta get my stretch on. But, you know, we cannot do the WVON morning show without the WVON morning show team. Gotta say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar. She is the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Want to remind you all, next Wednesday, April 11th, Harold Washington Cultural Center, Maya Angelou's and Still I Rise. Do not miss it. All right, y'all. Charles, you know I've been saying, really, Eddie? like ever since I saw the news headline that said that Eddie Johnson was against the firing of Robert Rialmo, all I can say when I hear his name is, really, Eddie? And then yesterday, Charles, I heard he had a meeting.
He had 2 meetings.
2?
Yeah, one on the south side, one on the west side.
Was this a CYA meeting?
This was what I'm calling the Eddie Johnson got some splaining to do tour.
You got some splaining to do.
So Eddie went to these 2 meetings to explain why he wrote a letter that expressed his opinion that the shooting of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones in December of 2015 was justified.
Really, Eddie? Really?
See what had happened was that's what,
really, Eddie? I mean, I'll just say
that's why Eddie opened his remarks. No, he didn't do it like that, but he was trying to explain to people that under the department rules in December of 2015, which is a few weeks after, by the way, the release of the Laquan McDonald video, that Officer Rialmo shot and killed Quintonio LeGrier, who
and Betty Jones,
Betty Jones.
She just opened the door, bro.
LeGrier had a bat apparently in his hand
across the street.
Yeah, some distance away from the officer, according to COPA, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, and Betty Jones was just trying to help the cops. She opened the door, you know. So they shot and killed both of them. And Quintonio LeGrier was a college student who apparently was having some mental situations. And when Eddie Jones wrote that this was Eddie Johnson wrote, I don't know why I do that. When he wrote that this was justified, people said, justified? How you gonna shoot a college student who's some distance away from you with a bat? And a woman who had nothing to do with any kind of...
Really, Eddie? Really, Eddie? Really?
She's stupid. She created you.
Hey, man.
But like how... But this is his language. So he's out there on the west side and the south side. And I went to the west side meeting trying to explain what had happened.
You got some splaining to do, Ricky, Eddie.
What had happened?
Eddie!
So what he's saying is about the rules, and that he, as police superintendent, he has to follow the rules, whatever they are. He says the rules are different now.
Eddie!
If this had happened now, today or tomorrow, then perhaps there would be a different kind of letter written by the police superintendent to whomever. But see, my theory is he wrote this letter at the behest of City Hall because they're trying to mitigate or lower the damages they're gonna have to pay these 2 people, because it could run into 9 figures. This could be a big one, y'all. This could be a budget buster. This could be one that they have to increase some kind of tax to pay, because this was, on the face of it, outrageous, particularly Betty Jones.
Really, Eddie?
I mean, come on.
Really? Charles, I am. So, look, this right here is one of those Negro. This is okay. So this is the moment when you have to put your job or your community first. Now, this is one of those moments, because he got the job as the superintendent of police. Now, we all know that as the superintendent, you still report to the mayor. But so you got a boss. And I know he got a good mortgage, because I know he got him a nice old house. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't even tripping. I don't want to begrudge him, none of that. But the mortgage is due. So when the mayor call you up and say, hey, got something I need you to sign, right? I need you to take this bullet. Is this one of those things where you say, bro, look, Mr. Mayor, I can't talk to him. I can't be a black man. I mean, I got you. I mean, I understand this is my job, but really, as a black man, you want me to walk out and tell people, not after they killed Quintonio, which was enough, but the innocent Betty Jones who came to the door to help us, you want me to read this? You want me to sign this? You want me to put this in writing? At that point, you know what you got to do? Remember that old TV commercial? We'd be like, no, my brother, you got to get your own.
You got to get your own.
Annette has something she wants to contribute to this.
So I have a cut for you, Maze.
Uh-oh.
So as you guys talk about this letter that the superintendent wrote, here's some interesting information from the attorney that's representing the families of LaGreer and Jones.
Let's hear it.
So check this out.
The letter, if you read it, is clearly written by a lawyer. I mean, this is not, I'm a lawyer, and lawyers speak a certain way when they're in court, and the way they draft things, and that's how this letter was written. It wasn't written like a non-lawyer would write it, and it's not analyzed like a non-lawyer would write it. I mean, in fact, he even references, Supreme Court cases, and that's not what people do unless they're lawyers. So he just signed his name to a letter that was drafted by somebody else.
Eddie, I want to talk to you. Eddie, why you treat us like animals?
You sound like him, fool.
I feel like that's how they treating us. Eddie, you got some splaining to do.
Yeah, this is clearly a letter that was written to try to keep the damages down. But they caught Eddie on something else yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And we started talking in general terms about how he seems to be unable to fire anybody, right? And the question, the brother from the NAACP on the West Side had brought up the question of, what about the police union contract? I mean, isn't that the real problem? You can't fire cops. And then I followed up and asked him, I said, Superintendent, what do you want to see in the new police contract that's being negotiated right now? What do you want to see in terms of giving you more power to fire bad cops? Eddie went fetal.
Fetal, that's a big word, man.
He went fetal. That means he wasn't going to answer. He said, I could get in big trouble with the National Labor Relations Board or something like that. He gave some convoluted reason why he couldn't tell me what he wanted to see in that new FOP contract that would give him more power to fire officers who are bad, who cuss you out, who do other stuff to you, throw drugs on you and do stuff. The ones that do bad stuff and continue to keep their jobs, he just would not answer that question. And everybody kind of went, why, you afraid of the FOP?
Eddie, I want to talk to you. You got some splaining to that. Look, I did a little foo with some Ricky Ricardo in there. So, look at here. Eddie, my man. Mom, talking to you on the blue. Not that blue, the other blue. My brother. Literally. Hey, man, some days you got to just be able to say, no, I can't do that. Like, you got to know they're going to leak it on you. I know somebody probably said to you, hey, man, don't worry. We just going to send this. It's going to be, you know they're going to leak it. Eddie, Superintendent Johnson, respectfully, there's got to be a time. The reason that people advocated for you was because we believed that you would be an advocate for us. I was there. I remember it right there in City Hall. That's the guy. And now we're looking at you saying, really, Eddie? We'll talk about it when we come back after after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Mace Jackson coming up.
We serious all the time, Tony Rome. It's called edutainment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And like my question is like, what was so they had these 2 closed door meetings. What was that supposed to be? Were the people supposed to leave out of there and be advocates? Were they supposed to come out and say, oh, we get it, we understand? Like, when they put the room together, was the premise to sell you to become advocates for it, you think? So I always think like, man, seriously? Hey Dan, let me tell you what you could do. So Dan, you know the answer, right? I do it how I do it. I got my style, you got yours. There are many options. What's up, KM? What's up, Tiger Lily? What up, Patah? What up, Ebony? What up, Tony Rome? He finished all his thoughts. What are you talking about? I was quiet. What up, Kiana Bradley? What up, Carl Brinson? What up, Bobby Q? What up, Alvin Norton? Like, hey, y'all, like, real talk, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't taking no shorts. So you and you and you and you, keep it up. Ain't playing. You got options. Problems you need to iron out. For now, you on timeout. What up, Celine? What up, JS? No, 2 game, it is not a Gucci tie. SJ, I'm not worried about it, but you know I have a good time. You know, I think like let me tell you. So I think about it like, you know, I got the mic. You got one comment. All I gotta do is be like, bye. So it's all good. You can't win. But I'm not, the whole like, you just get to talk and talk smack. No. Nope. That's the problem with people around here all the time. Think they can say anything and don't nobody say nothing. I agree with that, Tony. What up, Dwayne?
You know, Perry went to the one yesterday at 1 o'clock, and I was just talking to her, and she referred to it as a very bizarro scenario.
All it was they were convening the...
You want to have an engagement or so a little bit? I think that might be interesting.
I'm cool with it. I mean, I think it was... All it is like they put together their crew of...
Right.
What they do is they put together a South Side... This is the same pattern of what always happens. Who are the people we can put in a room that we can have this that ain't going to push too hard, right? That have an investment in the whole joint. Right.
Cool. All right, cool.
But then ultimately the goal is to convert people to surrogates to tell the story. I don't think that you can... I just don't think that there's any black folks with any credibility that's going to even try and sell it. Right? Like...
You know, on the West Side meeting, people changed, man. They weren't sold on this. Not at all. I mean, they didn't get sold at all. I mean, I wasn't sold.
No, I don't think...
I don't think anybody in the room...
What's up?
There was some aldermen in there that, you know, were trying to, you know...
Sitting at you.
Feed the situation, but...
It was Bizarro World.
It was Bizarro World on the West Side.
See, I'm glad you, because I when I was there, I said, Superintendent, am I in Bizarro World?
What? Did you ask him?
I did, and you know what else?
Sit down, because I can't see.
And you know what else I asked him?
What?
I said, do you think that your fellow officers, your rank and file, are scared of you? Do you think they'd shoot you?
Yeah, they'd shoot you.
I said, they would shoot you.
Okay, we coming back now. Shame The way you mess around with my heart, it's a shame. You hurt me, it's a shame. The way you mess around with my. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, you know what? It's a pleasure to have in the studio with us Miss Perry Small. Now, you know what I feel like? I see all y'all in the morning after the show as we having our transition. I saw all y'all last night. And now we are back in again talking about what Perry is calling Bizarro World. These meetings that were staged by the police superintendent of community stakeholders to explain why Eddie Johnson would draft a letter of such nature. Perry, talk to me. Bizarro World.
It was interesting, to say the least. Now, who was in the room with us was Rufus Williams was there, Dr. Jeanette Wilson.
Talk to the mic.
Sherry Runner.
Okay.
Runner. Some
Urban
West
League.
Side preachers. Who else knows?
This sounds like a Afrostocracy convention.
Come on.
No?
There wasn't that way on the West Side. By the way.
Are you saying ain't no West Side Afrostocracy?
No West Side. Wasn't no Afrostocracy on the West
And
Side.
Alderman Pat Dow was there.
No comment.
And so I got the impression, I told Bruce and Carl West, and we're going to be talking about
Then why y'all invite me? What's wrong with me?
So Carl West and I are going to talk about this at 9 o'clock. But what was interesting, I told Rufus on the way there, because I rode with him, I said, Rufus, they're not going to want to talk about this Riamo thing. I said, they're going to talk about what, they're not going to say you can't talk about it. But as soon as we got there, ground rules, I don't know if they did that with you. We just want to spend some time with and wouldn't even mention the Riamo by name.
Hold on. So the white people asked you to come to a meeting, and they gave y'all the ground rules of what y'all could talk about?
The black people actually asked us to come to the meeting.
It was mostly
Robin Robinson and Glenn Brooks.
Oh, and they told y'all what y'all could talk?
Yeah.
No,
well, they
didn't censor us.
They didn't
censor us. But
damn, Glenn, I see you.
But they wanted enough time to be able to talk about some of the initiatives. And that's when, even when they started with now I went there, Charles and Mays, with the intentions of not saying a word, but just listening. And I listened, and he looks good, Superintendent Johnson, he looks really good. But he went on and said this, and this is what disturbed me most. He says, before I do something, I go through a process. I can't go on gut feelings. I can't go on, how I feel or because I dislike you. So that's
what they shoot people for.
So wait a minute. So that's when I said, am I in Bizarro World? I said, because one of the things that I have a problem with is that when African Americans get in these types of positions, they tend to be fair.
I told you we gotta stop being fair.
They want to be fair. And I remember when Kim Fox came on to the on my show right after she had won the election. I said, now Kim, I'll just do this. Hire the best people qualified for the job. You don't always have to be fair. And he said that he didn't want he didn't want to jeopardize the possible firing of a police officer that actually needed to be fired. So it sounded like he was doubling down, like this was not the end all, that this is not the end of the process. You should have, because I started getting hot, and you know how I like to get naked, and I felt like I needed to get naked.
I'm hyperventilating.
He kept talking about how the rules have changed, how there's new training,
from 2015.
And the rules have changed from 2015, and he had to make a decision based on what happened in 2015.
So what are the
then when we challenged him, or Carl Brinson of the Westside NAACP challenged him on the FOP contract, that's when he started really not being convicted to do anything.
So let me ask y'all both a question. Just for my own sake, can y'all tell me what the new rules to kill a black man are?
They
Did
said
did they outline the did they aim better? I mean, what was the outcome as it relates to?
Let me just say this: when they talked about it, it was the sergeant, the black sergeant, female sergeant that was there.
Well, yeah, she runs a training academy, right?
So she says we have. Well, when they said that they take the recruits to the DuSable Museum. Now, they said that they
that's that bull
as part of that training. So I said, how do you train hate out of people's hearts? I said, how do you train hate out of people's hearts?
Gotta start at
Rufus came on. He had some good comments. Sherry Runner was just incredible. Dr. Jeanette Wilson, he had a tough room. That was a really... And Carl West, you know, you can't control Carl West.
Let me ask you a question, though. Because I do know that I'm listening to the news. Who were the young people that were there that were most susceptible to be victims of these killings?
We had a couple in our session. But I don't know their names, and I couldn't remember them now.
So
but they were good. They
were good. They were speaking for everyone. They were not just speaking for one. They say, Dr. Wilson says, what do I do? How do I go back to these young people and their mothers and fathers who are very close in age? We didn't forget about them. They were because they're the ones that are dying. So they asked them, what do we tell them now? And he as he should have, he touted a lot of his, accomplishments since he's been there, the changes that he's done and that sort of thing. But it was just a little bit bizarre.
Quickly, a young brother in my session, I don't know his name, but he said the reason they can't get any recruits, to any black people to really follow through on being police officers is this kind of stuff. They don't want to be part of it.
Man, it seems like that's the same rate they think about elections, voting as well. It's like you tell them to do all these things, and then there's no outcomes that are that match their actions. Y'all, this whole how do you know when the mayor calls you up and say, "Man, I need you to read send this letter"?
Well, this is what else they did, Maze. Now they came back and they said, what you need to do is you need to stop taking the fall for everything.
I agree with that.
He said, bring in Rahm Emanuel, Tav Copa, have the leadership stand behind you when you have to make these conversations.
And that's one of the things we got to start doing. This is the Talk of Chicago 1690. We'll be back after news, traffic, and the weather.
They're doing the same thing with Janice Jackson.
Because this is the thing, I have said this. I said, I want to support Janice. I want to be able to support Johnson. But you all have to do the right thing, and you have to stop being the fall guy. And when there's a shooting, and then what do you see? The thing is, it's not so much the fact that Ramos shot these people, which was horrific in itself. But I think that the public is a little taken aback when the city's talking about suing the estate.
And calling them trick babies.
And then calling them trick babies. This is what these young people hear, because they know what that's all about. It's egregious. So anyway, I gotta prepare for my show, but I can tell you guys that Carl West is gonna come on with me at 9 o'clock, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit more in depth. So, I appreciate that we had the opportunity to do this. But I get the impression that Superintendent Johnson really likes this job.
I think if you go, you got the stars and bars. It's all good till it ain't all good. You look, I bet he loves being the superintendent when he goes north of Madison. He'd be like, it's the greatest thing. Well, not now, because these Negroes getting killed. These people getting killed on the north side. But
he also talked about, too, how he knows that there's a lot of pushback from the rank and file. And I just wanted to tell him, from some of the rank and file, I just wanted to tell him, there was not a white predecessor before you, because you did have IPA. And they weren't trying to do things by what is right and what is wrong. It was about protecting their own. And he admitted, he says, I'm a black man, but he says, I'm also a cop.
You know,
He did say that.
You know, there's also this whole continuing, repeating, repetitive theme of a union that's too powerful. Police union
That
is like
is
over
way
control.
too-
That's, I mean, can I tell you what that reminds me of? And I know I keep referencing Zimbabwe, but they got the guns, right? Like, if they ever decide I'm not saying they're gonna ever turn the guns and go shoot somebody, but it's like when the general walks into the room, he ain't got to have no weapons. He just walk in and say, so we feeling a certain kind of way around here. My guys, you see them back there? All them with the pistols, they not feeling too happy about what's going on. Now, I'm not threatening nobody, but the only people in the room with a sidearm is the guys. Think about coming at me when they come to the meeting and everybody got their Glocks brand new shiny. Yeah, we want to check your guns in at the door.
Well, at least 7 of them were police officers that came into the room of about 25 people.
Yeah,
So
that
about
was
at least
about the
7,
same.
but at least 7 were police
I
officers.
just think it's fun. I think that they want to. I don't know, man. I just thought that it was like, so what did they expect that the outcome would be?
That they would. Well, I can at least say on the session that I was in, there was enough good comments that, especially about the leadership and how his responses are delivered to the people, that there has to be changes and he cannot be there by himself, that he needs to have COPA and he needs to have the mayor.
So this was like, what do I need to do to get right with the people? See, I feel
it's not. I don't even know. No, I guess.
No, talk to me. Tell me.
That very much could have been what it was, because like our listeners who see him as being eventually the fall guy for Rahm Emanuel, and maybe a year out from the election, or 9 or 10 minutes, and you have another incident like this, and someone's recommended to keep their job, or Riamo does something stupid like get in another bar fight, and he still got a badge and a gun. He could easily be the fall guy.
I'm gonna tell you what. I bet you Rahm don't recommend that he gets fired. If I was Rahm, I would come right behind that and be like, you know what? We heard you. I say that he gets fired too. Right? And then you got your man out there, you cut the board off from behind him. I'm with y'all.
But can he afford to do that, seeing that he's got McCarthy that's out there gunning for his ass? Can he have 2 people? Can he have 2?
Eddie Johnson ain't gunning, right? Eddie Johnson.
No, Eddie Johnson, in my opinion, if he were fired, he'd just go away in the sunset.
He was trying to do that anyway when they was like, hey man, did you give her your choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, thank you.
How did you all like this film last night?
Can I tell you what it did for me? It made me feel like I have a place in history. Like being, like really just taking it from all the people that have been here, or like it just really put into perspective.
Have you ever seen the 50th anniversary book? Look at that book. It'll blow your mind.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, to see how many people and how it was revered. And like...
They shut down Lakeshore Drive and State Street and Columbus Drive. Shut it down. You couldn't even get over there.
Hey, y'all. Looks like Facebook did not... It looks like YouTube is not cannibalizing the Facebook numbers. So... Actually, feel like we might be higher. You know what? I got to go look at this. This is great. Take a moment, y'all. Share the broadcast. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Hey, Jocelyn Watson, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Hey, all YouTube subscribers, I need 1,000. I need 1,000. Help your boy get to 1,000, and we can get crack-a-lacking. What's up, Richard Robinson? What's up, Alicia Gradick? What up, KM. What up, Seal Towns? Dum 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 dum. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomason, every day at 8:30. Charles's Choice. Charles, take it away.
You I'm country, man.
You was country when country wasn't cool.
Okay, man, because my wife calls me country when I throw on cuts like that.
That's not country, man. Ain't that soul, man?
Of course it is, but she says she grew up in Inglewood.
Ow,
You know,
ow.
she's a city girl. So, she calls, man, you country.
Hey.
Well, I did kind of grow up kind of like in the country, but I thought I was urbane now.
You are, urbane. You are urbane. You know what? So, Charles, who is this, man?
Joe Simon, man.
Joe Simon?
Remember, he did another cut called The Choking Kind.
The Choking Kind?
The Choking Kind.
Like,
the choking kind.
They was in the choking back in the day? Yeah. Like that?
You're right. I didn't think of I never thought of that song in that regard.
Oh, my God. He was like choking out.
He could have. I did not know.
That's so nasty.
That's why I come here in the morning, man. Because I never thought of that song, The Choking Kind.
The Choking Kind.
I have to play that as a Charles's Choice one morning. Joe Simon, he was a singer back in the late 60s, early 70s.
In the late 60s?
He's still around. I mean, he's still.
Is he still choking people out?
I don't know, man. I never thought of The Choking Kind as being a kind of.
What did you think it was?
I didn't.
I mean, these dudes sing these songs. It's like, I be stroking.
I get that.
Well, I thought it was
choking.
Choking. I be choking.
Choking. Man.
That's what I be doing. She be, let me.
Please. This is a family show.
Okay. I be choking. That's what I be doing. I be choking. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little silly this morning. This is the WVON Morning Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. That was Charles's Choice. And Charles, every day we have Charles's Choice at 8:30. But today on the live line, we have Dr. Eugene Williams. And, you like to pick a song every day at 8:30. Well, Dr. Williams is trying to get a song played at every NBA game and arena. And guess what it is? It is the Black National Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WVON Morning Show. Dr. Eugene Williams, he's on a quest to get Lift Every Voice and Sing played at every NBA arena, and he's here to tell us how it's going. Dr. Williams, how you doing, man?
Good morning, man. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
Listen to you every morning by Alexa.
Wait a minute, by Alexa? Wait. You listen to us on Alexa?
I'm all the way here in Clinton, Maryland, and I listen to you every morning.
Wait.
You're my inspiration.
And Charles, I'm telling you. And listen, and then see, it's a conspiracy. Because I'm telling you, did you hear he said he listens on Alexa? That's Amazon. I'm telling you. He said, so you say, tell us how you get Alexa to get us, man. What you say?
I have the Alexa, Amazon Echo, and all I say when I get ready to listen to you, and I know when you come on, I said, Alexa, get WVON.
And we come on all the way in Maryland. You know what? I'm cheesing over it. See, they talk about me in a hard cheese. That is a hard cheese. Dr. Williams, though, tell us about what you are doing with this national anthem.
Yes. Well, let me tell you.
You got to tell Alexa to be quiet in the background now.
Alexa, you in the background here. Charles says, Master, be quiet. Stop. Stop, Alexa. Stop.
You need to pimp slap him.
Sit, Alexa, sit.
Technology is something else. But let me tell you something, Les. Tell you about my journey. Some years ago, I'm 76 years old. I used to sing. Lift every voice and sing every morning in school. And one night I was listening to this machine. I won't call her name because she'll come on again. I called out and I said, play for me, Lift Every Voice and Sing. She played Lift Every Voice and Sing by Kim Weston. And I've not been the same since. I got up the next morning. I said to my wife, I said, look, I'm calling the Washington Wizards. I'm calling the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm calling the National Basketball Association. And I'm going to get them to cooperate and get the teams to play or to sing the Negro National Anthem. It wasn't an easy journal.
You mean with all them Negroes in the NBA, it was hard to get them to play the Negro National Anthem? Talk to us.
Let me tell you something. I have had little difficulty with Chicago, with the Chicago Bulls. I'm waiting on the Chicago Bulls to respond. I've shared it with all of the congresspersons and everybody. So I'm waiting on Chicago, and I'm waiting on the LA Lakers. But let me tell you something. The Golden State Warriors sang it on February the 6th.
They sang it?
Wizards, yeah. The Washington Wizards played it while I was there, and we sang the Negro National Anthem on February the 28th. And you know, all of this began with an article in the Washington Times. The article was, man wants lift every voice and sing, sung at NBA games in February. And as a result of that, I've been inundated with calls from all over the United States of America, the Associated Press, ESPN, you name it. I've been on every television station across the Washington, D.C. area. And I am so pleased that not only have we gotten the Washington Wizards and the Golden State Warriors to do, but we also have gotten Oklahoma Thunder. I'm working on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and one of the reasons that I'm working so hard on the Cleveland Cavaliers is that I wrote a book on LeBron James called Words Crossing Across, Word Search on LeBron James. So I know that they are going to do it. As a matter of fact, they may have done it a previous year.
Where are you finding most of the resistance or acceptance from the fans, the team management, or the players?
We're getting from the fans. My son is telling me, Eugene Williams Jr., he's working with me now. I've got a whole team, my wife, Mary Johnson. And so my son tells me, that he said, Dad, this thing is called fly. He said, you are famous. And he said, I tell you what the people are saying. And he gives the pros and cons. And I said, that's okay. I want the pros and cons. Because you know, as well as I know, that the NBA players are required contractually to stand when the national anthem is sung. So, why not stand with the Negro national anthem, lift every voice and sing?
So
it's been a beautiful journey. I'm just having fun. And every day I'm going, and you know, I've extended this thing beyond February the 28th.
Well, we got to, Doc.
What he said?
Dr. Williams, let me say this, because you know, Charles, we were talking about this yesterday when we heard him. We said, I bet you they're going to do it during the Black History Month. But I just feel like with all of the black NBA players, right? And I don't know how big of a gesture this is, but could you imagine at NBA games around the arena, like when the Canadians come, they play the Canadian national anthem. Right. When the Mexicans come, they play the Mexican national anthem. So why not? With all the black people in the NBA, how miraculous would it be? Think about the sense of pride for young black kids as they go to the games, and think about the education for the white folks if we got the Black National Anthem played at every NBA game. Hold on, Dr. Williams. I got to go to traffic and weather, but when we come back, we'll wrap up with you and you can tell us what we can do to help. I just sent LeBron a tweet. I'm hoping that the Den will send some tweets to LeBron James as well and to the Bulls. We're going to get it in the Bulls as well. We'll talk about it when we come back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the talk.
Y'all, this show goes so quick. What y'all think about getting the Black National Anthem? We got to get Dr. Williams to stop calling it the Negro National Anthem. That might be part of his roadblock. But, you know what I'm saying? The Black National Anthem played at the games. Can we send the Bulls a tweet? I just tweeted LeBron James. But can we send the Bulls a tweet that says the black citizens of Chicago want... I'm telling y'all did. Y'all did it. Let me tell you what. Nobody has already a mobilized social army that can make moves. Everybody else got to mobilize. We have spent our time doing this. Send a tweet. Send a tweet to the Chicago Bulls telling them that we want the Black National Anthem played at the game. We can start with Black History Month. I'm okay with that. Not that I'm okay with it, but we can start. It's got to be a starting point. You can't get to 100 if you don't get past 1. So let's consider sending a tweet to the Chicago Bulls. We can affect that change. Think about it. Y'all voted 26,000 times. Auntie Neal likes to tell people, she says, people like to front on us. They like to ignore it. But the fact of the matter is we have cultivated a digital army, y'all. Yeah. Do y'all understand what it had to be like for them to go and... The ultimate guide to Chicago, where everything we got is all black. Everything. Chicago State won as the #1 school. Y'all, you got the power. 26,000 votes. Can I tell you something? 26,000 votes is more votes than any ward. Any ward, there's nobody that's gotten 26,000 votes in any ward in the city of Chicago. That's what y'all can do. Okay.
Look it over before you hit it, though.
Don't tell me what to do. Okay. What's happening
I'm doing it for your
every
own
Wednesday.
good.
The next film in this series is Wednesday 11. Experience Still I Rise. Harold Washington following participating question and answer. Okay, I'm not bit that one. Just be trying to tell y'all just a little bit. All right. Y'all, I'm cooking in this suit. It's like when the weather goes up, when the light, I feel like it's like a greenhouse effect in here or something. That's why by the time yoga comes around, I'm dead out of, especially in these suits. Hey, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. But, Chicago, I'm going to tell, come on, man, we beat Windy City live. We beat WGN. I'm telling you, they tried to change up the rules to stop us, and they couldn't. They was like, because it ain't as easy to mobilize people in social as they think. Can't just put it out there. You got to have people ready to go. Our people already online. They got to get their people to switch from TV or radio to get to online. We was there. Heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it ring out loud as the rolling sea. This used to be my part. Sing a song. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. And Charles, I want to remind everybody, next Wednesday, the 2018 Black Heritage Film Series continues with the next film, Maya Angelou's And Still I Rise, where Maya Angelou is celebrated using her own words over a set of photos and illustrations highlighting her life. That's Wednesday, April 11th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, located at 47th and King Drive. Now, following that screening, WVON talk show hosts will participate in another question and answer series. Visit WVON.com to get your tickets. Now, Charles, on the line, we have Dr. Eugene Williams. We're going to wrap up with Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams, tell us what our listeners can do to help you on your mission to get this and get our anthem played in the NBA arenas around the country?
Thank you. It's a very simple process. Call your congresspersons. I'm working with some congresspersons now to get it sung in some of the states. Just call the NBA. Call your favorite team and ask for community relations. And talk to the person in community relations and tell them how important this anthem is to America, not just to black people, but to America.
Oh, Dr. Williams.
It's the thing. And the other thing they can do is email my son at wise, WISEDUCATORS, wise educators at msn.com, WISEDUCATORS.
Hey,
MSN.com.
Dr. Williams, we want to thank you for your efforts in leading, because I think that was a pretty good idea. You know what I'm thinking? Todd, find us who the community relations person is for tomorrow on the WVON. If you can get us their information, Dr. Williams, we're going to tweet and we are going to inbox and we're going to send. So we're going to have us a little action, trying to see if we can get that to happen for the Chicago Bulls as well. Charles, you got anything else for Dr. Williams?
Hey, man, we can do this because we made the WVON morning show, the #1 morning show in Chicago. That's TV, radio, all of them.
Ooh, and that you know what? And that is a you know what? When Charles Thomas say it, that's journalist. See, you got that. You got that. The fact. You know what the fact is? We whooped on it. Hey, Dr. Williams, we appreciate you, man. Hey, we'll get back to you. We'll talk back to you, but we won't let this thing drop. Look, Charles, I don't know where the time goes, but I do want to take a moment because I think we should talk about this. I mean, really, Charles, think about the gravity of this. I was looking at the press release from the announcement of us being Chicago's, where Chicago likes to wake up, the #1 morning show over TV, radio. We whooped them all too, man. We whooped Yo Home. We whooped WGN. We whooped Windy City Live. We whooped NBC. And it got me to thinking about the film series yesterday. You know, one of the things that I heard Herb Kent talk about was that the station had the lowest watts with the biggest voice. And here we are way down on the end of the dial. At the last one. Heck, my car don't even get it. Then the new cars, they don't even put our station on. I got to put out. Man, new car, it stopped at 1680. I got to put I got to listen to it on iHeartRadio. But yesterday, Charles, all of that was put into perspective. You know, we're here on 87th Street, and we're not in the big fancy skyrise downtown with all the fancy bells and whistles.
Yeah, they can't, all the big audio visual working.
You know, we go with, right, and all that stuff. It's like, you talk about the circuit, right? And we make fun of the circuit sometimes. And not bad fun, because it was the circuit that created, right? You think about the circuit, it created all of our greatest talent that went on to be somebody. But being right here in WVON and watching that film yesterday, man, made me feel like, hey, man, we literally can be part of the black history of Chicago. And that was humbling yesterday. That was truly, for me, I'm not.
For me too, man. For me, maybe even more, because I remember those people and what they meant to me as a broadcaster, being able to cross the divide and to be able to come home and regrow. Man, this is a huge moment for me.
And it's us, man. Can I tell you what though? See, Charles, I know you got the inside hookup, right? I know you do. I know you know some of these people we was talking about yesterday. So you got some kind of way, man. You got to ask, oh girl, I'm not saying that, but you got to ask her, like, so when you saw that it was the WVON morning show, how did y'all decide who was gonna tell the man? Right? Because I know she was like, damn. I tried to extend the question. Charles, Man, they changed up the money. You know how you say don't change up the... Charles, I got on the plane, and I was getting off, and they was like, oh, no, we done moved today. Finished the finish line. We still whooped them. What's up?
Well, look at that. Look at who else won.
Hell's Chicken.
The Black Ensemble Theater won for culture and entertainment. Harold's Chicken Shack won for eats, treats, and drinks. Neighborhood Pride, Bronzeville, Getting Around, the L Train. Class is in season. The best school, Chicago State, not Loyola, not Northwestern. Chicago State. Come on now, black folks.
Black folks, hear that. Let me just tell y'all something. My man Double J said this yesterday. He said, hey, Maze, you know, it was 26,000 votes. He said, well, let me put that in perspective for you. He said, there's no ward in the city of Chicago that turned out 26,000 votes. Hey, Charles, you know what? Maybe we can change the game, but it's going to start with us grinding it out right here, having a conversation. So, for Netflix in the newsroom, for Miss Sonia Escobar, she is the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. For my main man, Charles Thomas. Hey, Charles. Hey, man, if you holding out on them free socks tickets, man, I'm going to be to see you. Hey, and if they don't like it, you can tell them, May said, we out of here. Peace.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
Oh, y'all. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
Sunny but cold.
I'm all the way up.
Thursday, April 5th, 2018. I'm in Illinois.
Hey, yeah, I can't help it. I'm loud. I was born this way. I was born this way. Telling y'all, do y'all know y'all can change the game on these chunks? Think about every time you send out a tweet.
Shots fired on Lakeshore Drive.
We all move. We move. They can't stop you. Organize. I'm out.
Peace. Opener today. Network News Now. Weather and traffic coming up.